Hey, we're live. Hey, welcome everybody. This is the Band of Bards Comics Chat. I'm Tim. I'm joined by Ro, Jax, and Miranda. Ladies, thank you for coming out tonight. We're all here to celebrate the success of Dark Side of Purity. Oh.
Woo.
Cheers to that.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cool.
Nice. As usual, I'm just going to pop over to the other streaming channels, make sure everything's working correctly. But how's everybody doing this week?
Pretty good. We got 3 kittens yesterday, and we haven't had pets in the house for 10 years, so it's going to be interesting.
They're so cute, too.
They're nightmares. Can you see this? I have a scratch that goes all the way down. It was just from them getting scared from being picked up, though, so it's alright.
Poor babies.
Yeah, they're still getting used to it, but they're super friendly, super cute.
Oh,
That's good.
Gosh,
I want a kitten.
that's a big change.
It's a really big change, but we're 6 adults in the house, so we think we can handle it, but we'll see.
No. 2 adults to each kitten, but I'm not sure that's enough.
I know, that's what I'm thinking too.
I don't know a whole lot about cats. Like dogs, I can hang and talk all day, but cats, do they break cats down by breed a whole lot? I know, like, aren't the orange ones called tabbies?
No.
No. I don't know anything about cats. I know that I don't like them.
I used to also have an issue with cats not really trusting their behavior or anything, but they seem to, what is the word? They project their feelings very clearly. But no, they're pretty adorable. I used to have one that would pretty much come up to me whenever he wanted to be held like a baby, like cradled like a baby, and just the sweetest thing. So I don't know, but I am a dog person, but I'm a pretty big fan of cats now too.
I guess I should say, when they're in someone else's house, I don't mind them. I don't know. Grew up with dogs, I just kind of stuck with that. But then I have all these other animals around me too now. Like the
Do
chicken. Yeah, I've got 9 chickens. And it's just a whole bunch of different stuff outside. I was digging up some garlic out of my garden and saw the snake going by at the base of the raised bed. So I was like, good. You get in there and eat whatever rodents have been munching on all my stuff and coming up from underneath and stealing my stuff.
Oh, cheeky.
Yeah. So.
That's pretty awesome. Recently, and I blame Elise for this, I'm actually quite mad she's not here, but I recently started paying attention to the insect life in the garden, and I started learning about butterflies and moths and different kinds of bees and a lot of wasps too.
Ooh.
Yeah. One of them landed on my face the other day. That was a whole experience.
That's funny. Some of the wasps are very solitary bugs.
Are they? Because we have about, I'm going to guess, around 40 at least in this one section of the garden.
Yeah. Yes, some of them are horrible to have around, and others, they'll be like very solitary, or they'll have very small nests of only like maybe like, I don't know, 6, 10. So yeah, we had a little bit of a wasp problem in this house, so called exterminate everything, and I don't know, they really enjoy their job because they were telling me all sorts of stuff about different types of wasps and how to identify them and like what to be worried about, which ones weren't so bad, and like, please just get rid of them.
Can you give me their number? Because I have questions.
We have some that like right outside our front door, but I never been bothered by bees or wasps. They don't bother me. I don't care about them, but my
Yeah,
husband freaks out every time he sees one. I'm like, "Will you stop? Just leave it alone, and we'll leave you alone. Calm down." And he's like swinging and trying to. Just, just stop. Stand there calmly, and it will go about its business.
yep. That's the best way to get stung is to get wild on them.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's the only reason I've made it this far for a few months now is because when they land on me, I stand still like my life depends on it. Because it might. I have no idea if I'm allergic.
Right.
I don't want to find out.
Yep, I've never been stung. My mom is very allergic to bees, so I'm always like, I don't know.
It takes 2 stings to find out if you're allergic too. The first sting, if you're allergic to them, the very first sting will not cause a reaction. It's the second one after that, and any other subsequent ones that you'll have allergic reaction to.
Oh, interesting.
Not a fan.
See, it's the EMT side coming out tonight.
I've been stung by a bee, although in its defense, I rolled onto it because it had landed on my pillow and it stung me in the earlobe.
Oh,
That was fun. That was at the height of my gaming days as well, so headphones on all the time.
Ow.
Yeah.
no, thank you.
Yep. Yes.
But now apparently next time I find out if I'm allergic, so
Yeah,
that'll be an experience.
I know. Now you're even more excited for it.
I'm just gonna drink.
So, I'm sure everybody really came here to hear about the bees and the birds and everything else. But
Let's drink a little bit more before we talk about that.
yeah, I don't know. I'm pretty excited with how everything went with Dark Side of Purity. I don't know how the rest of everybody's feeling.
Oh yeah, I'm not gonna speak for everybody, obviously, because Miranda and Jax are also here. But I don't know about you guys, but I had anxiety for 32 days, just straight on, constantly checking. I have 2 monitors, and the DSOP Kickstarter was up all the time on one of them, and I was just watching those numbers for a whole month.
Same. I had it up on my phone every time I was like,
Yeah.
I wasn't watching constantly, but I was watching the Discord constantly because you guys were updating it all the time, and I was like, "You're gonna update me," so
Immediately, as soon as that number changed, one of us was in there. Oh my god, that was.
And they just kept going up, and I was like, "There's no way we're not gonna at least get funded." So I knew that was gonna happen. I had no doubt of that, but just everything after that was overwhelming, and I can't believe it. And
yeah,
that was awesome.
It's so cool. We met all the stretch goals, and I was like, oh my god, how did we even do that? It happened so fast at the end.
One of the stretch goals was you, right? Illustrating something.
2 of them were me. So one of them, I'm the colorist. So now that it's going to be colored, I get to color things, which was very exciting. So excited. And then the other one is a mini comic that I'll be doing with someone who I don't want to mess up their name, so I'm not going to say it. Have to look it up. But yeah,
we're a lot of people.
Yeah.
Lots of names.
Yeah, lots and lots of names. And I'm bad with names in general, so, you know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I had to constantly go back to the page and just look at the whole lineup because I'd had, like, a little sheet from Elise that gave me, like, everybody's name and, like, what, you know, all the writers, all the prose writers, all the comics folks, the illustrators. But then I was like, I don't know who's teamed up with who and which all their story names. Like, please don't. I hope nobody wants me to just rattle all that stuff off.
Yeah, it's so much. It's too much to remember.
There's a reason there's a table of contents. I have to go back to it all the time. Now it was interesting because I know that was the first experience with Kickstarter for a lot of people who are involved with the work. So I hope we did a good job of communicating, through release what to expect and how the whole thing should go. I just kept track of noon every day. I'd write on my little desk calendar here how many backers we had, the dollar amounts, and pretty much every day it was going up by a nice chunk that was staying ahead of the curve in terms of okay, if you backed, if you hit your minimum goal at the very final day, how much money do you have to keep taking in each day? And we're just eclipsing that every day. So for one thing, the total we needed every day kept getting lower and lower, but just it was a nice steady climb. That full stretch, the 4th of July was the only time it really went flat, which is just to be expected. And then the last few days, you always expect that last 72, 48 hours to be a bit of a rally. For one thing, it's a little bit of consumer behavior, right? So let me put my nerd hat on, right? You get a bunch of people who will drop their pledges or reduce them at that time, which is a little nerve-wracking. But people are realizing that, okay, this thing's about to wrap up. I have to have this money, in a couple days. I'm not going to have that to spend on it, so they're either canceling or reducing. But then you have the other folks who wanted to sit and wait until they knew for sure they'd have the extra money laying around to back it, and then they come in and back at the end. And so that helps to bump things up, and then it also helps to kick yourself back up on the Kickstarter listings higher and higher, because all of a sudden you get a lot of momentum pledges coming in. And that's what we saw for sure. It was just a very exponential growth in the last few days. Exciting to watch.
Yeah, that was a really heartening experience. I think Elise had timed it really well with the marketing and the extra rewards, Miranda's Collect the Patriarchy sticker. Cool. That needs to be a sticker. It needs to be a t-shirt. It needs to be a poster. It's so good. But that whole get your writers to draw really awful art for you and have it as a cover. It was really fun marketing. And the project is such a heavy subject as well that it was a really nice change of pace to be able to just have fun as well.
Yeah.
And that I think we hit our goal that day. We got funded that day or the next day, but that was, oh my God, the stress relief. Immediate.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was awesome.
Yeah, it was funny. I think I was sitting in the hospital when we got funded. I was like, cool.
You were! Oh my God, you were! Holy crap. Sorry that we didn't ask how you're doing.
Oh, no. I had a lot of folks asking. It got to the point where I was like, I'm so sick of typing the same thing over and over.
Yeah, I think at some point Elise was just updating us.
Yeah. But yeah, that was kind of fun to be able to sit there and like, I guess I need to put this away and not think about it for a day or two. But no, everything was great, and I mean, everybody involved did such an amazing job. Everybody, pitched in and helped, because as we talked, as we were getting ready to launch it, if we went with that window that we went with, it kind of, one of the downsides to it was that it gave us less time to prep and send stuff out to media and get a little bit more of attention on it than we normally would be able to. So the only way to counteract that was for all the folks involved to just, do everything that they can to help spread the word. And I definitely did. I mean, a lot of the pledgers and backers that were coming in, it was a nice chunk of return customers and return backers to our projects, but I think most of them were first time people coming in to back something by Band of Bards. So that was certainly attributed to the creators and bringing folks into the table.
Yeah, I think that's this. I can only speak for my family that a few of my family members backed for the first time on Kickstarter because of DSOP. So
I did notice that. When I saw the country of shipping, I was like, let me check this person out. It's like, There's
I
another.
forgot that showed up. I was like, how would you know? We all have such different names. But no, that makes sense. I don't think that many Swiss people backed. Yeah.
I just figured if it's going somewhere to that part of the world, like I'm pretty sure it's because of Roe.
Yeah. No, I will say I think anybody I brought in, like the majority would have been from the US. Most of the writing community that I know is from the US and Canada.
We do love our Canadian friends.
Yes, we do.
We do.
My very best Canadian friend, the first time I met her, I think within the first few minutes of meeting her, I said, I used to really hate Canadians. And she was just so stunned that anybody could hate Canadians. She was like, you must tell me why. I just explained to her about like youth hockey tournaments and the way like Canadian and US youth hockey is. The age brackets for the leagues are different, so like the Canadians are pushed ahead a little bit sooner. So we're always playing against like younger kids. So like when you're a 10-year-old and you have to play against like a 9 or 8-year-old, you're like, this is dumb, right? But then oh my god, the parents were always so awful. Like those terrible videos that you'll see at like Little League, and the parents are flipping out. Like there was always such terrible parents yelling at like youth hockey kids and stuff. I'm like, oh my god, I hate these people. But but no, but as certainly grew out of that as I grew up. Especially when you realize that, like, wait a minute, I only need to be 19 to go over there and have a good time. So.
I keep forgetting you guys have those age limits over here to drink beer and such. You just have to be 16. Yeah.
Wow.
But it gets it out of their systems pretty easily. Like we don't seem to have that many, drunk driving issues or accidents happen from.
That's probably why. Like,
yeah, get it out of your system before you get that license.
Big heavy deal on it when they turn 21 that they go crazy. And like it wouldn't even be a big deal here. A lot of people don't realize that most states it's legal for kids almost. I think that it's up to parent discretion, but within any age, if your parents buy it for you and you stay home, it's perfectly legal for your kids to drink if you're responsible for them. Yeah. They can't go out and drink, but if you buy it for them and they're in your home, it's within the laws for your children to drink. But
yeah, I think that's what a lot of our parents do. Sorry?
I said I don't think anybody realizes that it's perfectly legal.
Yeah. So I think a lot of the parents... Sorry, I think I'm lagging. Please continue.
Yeah, I was going to say, if parents realize that, maybe there wouldn't be that big rush when people turn 21 to rush to the bars. Get crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, the parents here seem to realize that they can help their kids get that out of their systems. And like for us, it's a little bit tricky because my mom thinks that way. It's like, I would rather you do this stuff at home so that I can keep an eye on you. And then my Muslim stepdad is like, or don't drink at all because it's haram. It's been an interesting balance.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of parents here do that where, they'll let their kids. We also have sort of lenient laws about marijuana. So parents here will be like, you can try it, you can do it, but only at home. And it seems to mitigate a lot of the problems.
It's good.
Do you ever mess with your stepdad by being like, if it's haram, that means it's fun, right?
I do make a lot of comments like that grate on him, but he laughs. At this point, he laughs. Yeah. So, my mom is addicted to light or Diet Coke. And anytime she says, can you get me a Coke? I just kind of like do this, like, and get so frustrated. Or I'll be like, hey, can you refill my meds for, my sleeping meds or whatever? And he'll be like, fine. And I'll be like, I need my drugs. Steal my drugs. He's not a fan, but it's fun.
You have to have fun as much as you can with your parents.
Yeah, definitely.
Right.
Yeah. So my dad doesn't have much of a sense of humor, so we don't really talk. Miranda, how many stories are you coloring? I'm going through here and trying to count them all up.
I haven't counted them.
You're doing coloring work, but you're also doing lettering as well.
Yeah, so I'm lettering. I don't know the number of pieces, but I think the total pages is something like 30.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
You got Rose comic.
Yeah. Which should be max 10 pages.
I tell you, I cannot wait to see that in color.
Lots of flowers, lots of natural colors, bright, vibrant colors.
Oh my
It's
God.
gonna be beautiful.
I have no doubt you're gonna just bring that to life a little bit more. I was so hoping we would hit that stretch goal.
Yeah, me too. I love coloring things. It's so fun. Unfortunately, I have to leave right now.
Oh no!
Yeah, I have a D&D game I have to run to. So, but this was fun.
Have fun.
I made it through like a third of my picture here. So, I did a good dent.
Nice. Well, you got the rest of it for the D&D game.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yep, definitely.
It's a lot of an AM city.
That's true. All right. Bye.
Have fun.
All right.
Bye.
Thanks for coming tonight.
Yeah.
Cool.
Nice. I'm glad I thought to ask her about the coloring there before her time was up.
Yeah, that's a lot. Wow.
Yeah.
She's doing like the bulk of the coloring on volume 2, and like so much of the lettering as well. I think all of it.
Damn.
Yeah, I think she's lettering every single one.
I had no idea. That aspect of, even sentience, the only reason I know anything about it is because I know Danny. But yeah, that just sounds like so much work, but she seems excited, so that's cool.
You can have so much fun with the coloring side of it. And it's neat because like if you've ever watched anybody doing coloring or doing like some cover art, just the different layers that they're able to build into it layer after layer after layer. And, if they want to go back and see what it looked like before or without a layer, it's just a matter of clicking on that sidebar and removing it and, comparing it. And like, it's just so neat to be able to watch that whole process. And I mean, getting to understand the labor that goes into it is really good for me.
Yeah.
You certainly do value what these folks are doing, and they absolutely should get paid what they're worth.
It's so much work.
Yeah, Jax can draw, and she's designing her own merch and stuff, and
Nice.
It looks
I'm
like
just getting into the color or digital coloring, and I don't. It's a lot for me because I don't have an iPad or any kind of tablet, so I'm doing it all on my laptop. So it's an added layer, but they're doing so much more, like little details and little. I can't even imagine. It's so much work just me doing like characters.
Yeah. I mean, just the amount of years it takes people to be able to learn all those different things and to learn those little tricks and understand the finer details of their work. I just pay these folks.
Yeah, seriously.
Really. They deserve the money. Give it to them. All
Absolutely.
of it.
You got a deuce there?
What?
Your Bud Light, is that a 22 ouncer?
No, just 12 ounce.
Oh my gosh, it just looks that big on the camera. Every time you pick it up, I'm like, that thing looks huge.
Too close to my camera.
I had a friend ask me about that earlier. What the hell I meant when I was talking about pounders. And I was like, "What do you mean? Like the 22-ounce beers, right?" And he's like, had no clue what I was talking about. Like, he had posted something that like, oh my god, what was it? Something about how much white people love when "Don't Stop Believin'" comes on. It was hilarious. I wish I could remember like the name. But I told him, like, you know what? That's true. Because I totally sang that drunk off my butt on the train in Seoul after a soccer match. And I was like, dude, we were just hitting pounders all day. And he's like, what are you talking about? And he said something very different from that. But I'll just, for it to not be so vulgar, he's like, what are you talking about? I was like, the big 22-ounce beers, man. And like, we were able to get like the 4-pack of trays for like $12. And we're just hitting those up like every bit, because that might have been like the very first professional soccer match I ever attended. Right, like a typical American, I'm not big on soccer, and I'm like, it is boring to watch on TV. But going to watch it live, like, okay, cool, I can go watch just about any sport live, and there's some entertainment to it.
It's a lot more fun, yeah.
Yeah, I think part of it, like with that on TV, and I'll say the same thing for hockey. As much as I love it, if you don't grow up with that sport, you know, just seeing what the TV camera is showing you, you can totally get lost and not understand everything. But when you get to see the entire field and all the other stuff going on, it's like, all right, cool. Plus, there were some insane Koreans who let off like smoke grenades.
What?
Yeah, I think it was one of the other games I went to. That was a game in Seoul at the World Cup Stadium, and it was the team from Suwon was there playing Seoul. And the Suwon fans, their team's color was blue. They let off like a blue smoke grenade. But then somebody just pulled the pin and then like just dropped it at their seat.
Oh my god.
So it was just enveloping all of the Suwon fans instead of like pulling it and tossing it somewhere where there wasn't anybody at. And I'm like, I know what it's like to just run through that stuff. It's terrible. I can't imagine sitting in the middle of it.
I like the dramatic flair, though.
Oh my gosh, that was so funny. But,
I agree with you so much on watching live sports. So, like, I grew up playing softball, and my sister played baseball before there was a girls' softball league. But I can't watch it on TV. It's not entertainment for me. I love to go to baseball games. It's so fun, but I'm just like, I can't watch it on TV. My sister's a big Cubbies fan, and she like watches the season and freaked out when they went to the World Series. And I was like, sorry, I just I can't watch professional baseball. I'll go with you to like the minor leagues games because I live in Oklahoma and Tulsa has a minor league team. No, I can't watch it on TV.
yeah, we have a AAA team here. And I feel the same way though, but you know, I love to watch the evening games or the Sunday afternoon games because it gets you ready to sleep. You know, take that Sunday afternoon nap, or when like my head's buzzing and I can't like get myself wound down to go to sleep at a normal time. I'm like, I'm gonna watch some baseball.
Yeah.
Cool. I don't know. What else should we talk about to celebrate?
What about the e-zine?
You've confused me because I always say Zine.
It's magazine.
I know. That's the great debate, right? Zine or Zine?
I'm not sure it's a debate, Tim.
Oh, it totally is.
It's pretty much definitely zine.
No,
It's the
Zine.
Yeah.
All right, but yeah, no, that one.
Alternatively, I think it's seen.
Tiebreaker.
That's fine. Anyway.
Yes. So that I'm excited for that. I'm really excited for that.
Yeah. See, now we are more or less in the dark, Chris and I, on that, because you all are.
Well.
Yeah. So,
I know
it's
we everything that's going to be in it.
It's a lot more exciting to sit back and watch whatever Lynn's is picking and watching it. I'm like, cool. I have no issues at all not having control over that. I'm pretty sure Lynn's is going to do a great job selecting pieces. And it's just neat to be able to sit back and, okay, let's see what comes out of this because it's fun.
Yeah, I think she's done selecting. What?
Did we pick a cover for it?
Did we?
Not that I know of. See, and this is another thing, right? My experience with Zines is back to punk rock stuff. And that could be the thing, right? I don't know. We always call them Zines. Whatever. But they were never anything that really had too much of a cover. And I wish I could find some old, like, local punk show flyers that we had. And usually that would be the... Yeah. Just the terrible Xeroxed stuff that would be, like, pieced together and copied. And then more stuff pieced on top of it and copied again.
Oh, we should just, like, get some, like, magazine cutout looking... fonts
letters
we said for our video and just make a flyer out of it.
That would be pretty awesome.
Yeah, no, they totally always looked like ransom notes or like and what was the Batman movie that had Jim Carrey as Riddler and he's pasting all the magazine cutouts in his riddles. Yeah.
That could be really fun. I have no idea what's actually been planned for the zine, Tim. The zine. And usually Elise keeps me appraised of like cool things that are going on, but this, Jax and I only know of one art piece that is definitely in it, and that's because our friend would update us with her progress on the art piece, and then when she submitted it we were like, oh, there's no way it can be rejected, and she got accepted, and that's basically the only thing we've seen besides the excerpts that Lynn's has been sharing. We're in the dark too.
Isn't that kind of fun though?
It is. It's so exciting because like my normal job, I get to see everything that's going in the anthologies and the magazine and everything. So this is really fun. Yeah. Even like I haven't seen Jax's completed piece for DSOP. They haven't seen mine, and there's something very exciting about that.
This the dynamic with the QNC. It threw me off with this because like I got to a point with my story for this and it was like, okay, I could stop this here and leave it open-ended, or I could continue and give some more detail. And I was like, I don't know what I want to do. And then it was like, I asked Amy to beta read for me. So I was like, with QNC, I wouldn't ask you because you're an editor, and if I was going to submit, it would be a conflict of interest. I was like, but then I asked Amy, and then I was like, wait a second, I could have had Ro do it too because we're just so on this time.
Yep, pretty much.
But I was already gonna beta read for her for Grimoire anyway for QNC, so I was like, well, you want to trade off and do this for me and give me your opinion?
That's awesome. Yeah. Amy is the friend whose art piece was accepted to the zine by Lynn's. So
very cool.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure earlier in today I called it Chrome Quill.
That happens a lot.
Does it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of like saying Zine?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, okay.
It's okay, Tim.
That just might be who I am. I will.
Well, it's right there. I'm not good at this backwards mirror thing. It's right there if you can see it. Quilling Girl.
Speaking of mirror, I got it.
Oh, he wants to show you his.
I do. I do.
What?
Watch him.
Is this something I missed in the last
You
stream?
did. No, you missed it earlier. I just got a new camera today. Ooh.
What?
I'm upside down.
I hate it. I hate it so much. Holy crap. My brain immediately was like, why is the liquid still in the glass?
Oh my gosh.
It's
Wait,
magic.
What is it like?
I know, this is...
It's like I'm in space.
It's getting to 3 in the morning and I am tired. This is not good for my brain.
Oh my gosh.
I love that it has a remote. That's
yeah. Fancy. Honestly, that's what sold me on it. my one Prime Day purchase, because I was just fed up with selling Jax Miranda. The webcam I've been using, it had a crappy little cable that just, I would like hit my desk or move my desk calendar, and it would just give the slightest little bump on the cable and knock the whole camera out.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. And
I really like the idea that you are sitting within arm's reach of everything you need to adjust the camera, but the remote was what sold you. You were like, I need this.
I am a guy. We like our little stupid, completely unnecessary tools. Ooh. Ooh. I know. I'm all over the place.
That's so ridiculous. Although I say that as though the fan that I had up until a few hours ago didn't have its own remote, and it was only 2 meters away.
It happened to it a few hours ago.
The kittens needed it, okay? Oh it's really hot upstairs. We have a heat wave, and we didn't want them to overheat, so they got the good fan.
Oh, the kittens took your fan away. They're so spoiled already.
Oh, they are so spoiled. But, yeah, no. It's been fun. Even with all the blood that I've been leaving everywhere, it's been really fun.
See, that might be why I dislike cats. So when I was younger, I was over at my neighbor's house, and his cat was like up on the chair, and I was going to sit on it. I picked the cat up, and I just go to put it down, and it like, as I'm going like this, it like turned itself around and just clawed my entire forearm like that. Ooh. Yeah, I think that got me turned off to cats pretty easily.
That's
my daughter's cat love bites. She like love all over you for 5 or 10 minutes and just like rub on you, and then out of nowhere she bites you.
Ugh.
Like it's a normal thing that but it just scares you. But it's a normal thing that cats do. They show affection that way. They just love on you and then they'll nibble you.
That's kind of weird.
It's a weird thing that cats do, I guess.
Yeah, the kittens do it a lot. They like to nibble on Knuckles, but they don't do it hard. Really, the only time it hurts is when you pick them up and they get scared. Their claws, like they're just trying to cling. And that's basically what happened here. On my leg and my shoulder.
Oh my gosh.
My tattoo. My poor tattoo. It's fine. I had a German Shepherd. It was the same shit.
Oh my gosh. I had so many bites and bruises. My German Shepherd dislocated my pinky one time.
What? No way.
He hates the water. Like, he hates baths. And I had him, and I was trying to, like, give him a hose bath one day because it was cooler, and he's so big I can't lift him up in the bathtub. So I had him on the leash, and I was trying to, like, when he freaked out and took off and, like, had it wrapped around my arm.
Pinky with him.
Took my wrist and my pinky, and my whole arm was bruised and dislocated.
Oh my god, that sounds terrifying.
He's such a baby.
But he's so cute.
I know.
Yeah.
I love him, but he's such a baby.
The shepherd that I had with my ex-husband, like she's with him, but we had her as a puppy, and her teeth were needles. And her favorite thing is rough housing and playing tug of war, and she did not learn how to manage the pressure of her bites until fairly late. So I actually have all these tiny, shiny lines across my skin where it's just scarred over.
No.
But as I tweeted earlier, I have 1-ply skin, so it's fine. You know, it's not their fault.
I still have a bunch of little pock marks on my hand here from my one mutt of a dog raiser and
So aptly
golden.
named.
Yeah, he was great. I named him after one of my favorite hockey players, who was a big fighter. But my dog raiser was like the biggest baby. But the one of the very few times he ever got into a fight with another dog, he was fighting with our other golden retriever Eisenhower. And I don't know what it is, just out of nowhere they're like, ugh, and they like very viciously are biting at each other. I had to separate them, and Razor just like bit down on me real hard, and before he realized he bit me instead of Ike, and then he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, he died."
Aww.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a scraggly little dog that I adopted in Texas who had been like just a stray for a long time, and he was like so terribly unhealthy and underweight when I found him. And the stupid Texas, they fined me for not having him neutered within like 90 days, and I came with all these vet records like he wasn't healthy enough to have that surgery. Like, here's a note from the vet that says he still needed to like recuperate and put on weight and get rid of this and this and this malady before the vets would do that.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, F you.
Wow. That's shitty as hell.
Yeah. Well, the like local governments and cops around army towns really love when they can get money off of someone that's in the army or anybody else. So, yeah, there's not a whole lot of love most of the time between someone in the military and local cops.
Yeah.
God damn.
Yeah. That was the first of 2 times when I got a ticket there.
What was the second? You can't leave us hanging. Like, you can't say that. Dangle it. And be like,
Finish the story.
Yeah. No, that was just the highways around Fort Hood are terrible. Like the on-ramps are just like death traps. So I'm heading my way in the morning to work, and this very young soldier, she just hops on, cuts me off, and like within a few seconds is slamming on her brakes coming over a hill, and she hits someone, and I nearly missed her, but I just clipped her with my front end, and they gave me a ticket. I'm like, this person cut me off. There's absolutely nothing I could do. But the cop was like, yeah, whatever, ticket.
That's how they are here too. If you rear-end somebody, it's your fault no matter what.
Yeah. They're like,
you hit them, it's your fault.
What was the line? It was like, your number one job as a driver is not to hit anybody else, so it's always your fault. I'm like, really? Okay.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I hate Texas.
I have not heard many good things about Texas. Sorry, what?
I said I'm not a big fan of Oklahoma. It's like Texas Junior.
Oh, no.
It is.
Except for when Oklahoma and Texas play each other. And then there's the big rivalry, which is always interesting to watch, right? When those schools are playing each other and people are losing their minds. And it's like, there's not that much difference. Like,
amalgamation of
sport?
I don't want to say the word redneck fever there. It's terrible. It's bad.
Yeah. I mean, Austin's pretty cool. But it's super expensive and just, whatever. But
I feel like Texas has some bigger cities that are more liberal, less conservative.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And we do too here. The city I live in is more liberal, more cultured, art-centric city, but our governor is the absolute worst. He's just the worst. He literally uses hate speech and still is the governor. So,
Wow.
Yeah, he's like native racist and still is the governor of a very native state. It's outrageous. I can't even believe it.
Do you have a preference over saying territory versus reservation, or?
Personally, I say sovereign land.
Sovereign land.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't. Most people, I think, say either territory or reservation or sovereign land. I think a lot of people use it interchangeably.
Okay.
Yeah, I say sovereign land, but probably territory is used more than reservation.
Yeah, like we've got a couple of pretty big territories on either side of us, and the Seneca Nation has like some property within the city of Buffalo itself, which has become sovereign land, which is kind of neat. And it, growing up, everybody just called everything the res, and it's still like, it's not considered offensive from what I to still say that, but I see the territory being used a lot more commonly now.
And I don't. Reservation isn't. I wouldn't say it's racist. I mean, that's what they are.
But, yeah, the policy, absolutely.
Yeah,
and it's just part of it. Then just kind of transforms into the slang.
I think as they're being given back and given control back over to sovereign governments, that's why you're seeing them turned over or referred to as territories more than reservations, because a lot of states are giving them back to the tribes instead of allocating them as places where tribes can live. They're actually giving them the land as controlled by tribal governments, which has happened here a lot. And I think that's why our governor started striking out against tribes so much.
Oh, yeah.
To dissipate our gaming treaties, which were meant to go on forever. And he tried to on a time frame and tried to cancel those, and just all kinds of other things that he's done. I could get into it for a while, but
I bet the two of us could really talk about that for a long time.
Yeah, our governor's a piece of trash.
I tell you, like, we have a Democratic governor in New York, which the last time we had a Republican governor was George Pataki, like in the 90s. But
Sounds familiar.
He was constantly up in like the Republican primaries for president, even back in 2016, 15, 16. He hung around for a bit. More of a sane Republican at that time. I don't know if you can call any of them really sane anymore, but I digress. But like our governor and the whole deal to publicly fund the new Buffalo Bills football stadium, she tried to totally backdoor, basically taking money that was supposed to go to the Seneca Nation and just giving it over to the Bills owners, basically. And it's like, what? I mean, this was not in there. It was caught by somebody reading through the entire legislation and all that. And it's like, you're nuts to think that you're going to pull that off to begin with. And that, like, you're magically just going to, like, steal money from the tribe and give it to the Pagulas to build a new stadium.
That's pretty heinous.
Yeah. But I can remember being in high school and there were such big issues going on between tribal sovereignty and that. And like part of I-90 goes through the Seneca Nation, and there would just be roadblocks of like burning tires on the interstate. So crazy things, and absolutely not what anybody expected to hear about tonight. But
nope.
Oh, okay, so yeah.
But I liked that kind of meandering conversation I had. I just kind of
did use the photo shoot that I did for DSOP to kind of bring some of that into it. I did the red handprint for Murdered and Missing. Yep. I'm still waiting on the pictures, but she took like 246 pictures.
Holy cow.
Holy crap.
Yeah. She's editing and editing and editing. I got really lucky with her. She did it on a tip basis, and she's like, "You're gonna get like 90% of these pictures back. I'm not gonna give you just a small percentage of them." So
That's amazing.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm just waiting to share those with everybody.
That'll
The ones
be,
you have shared are gorgeous.
Yeah, she did take.
I mean, obviously, sorry, it feels like a weird word to use based on the subject matter, but yeah,
no, I know what you mean.
Yeah,
no, she did a great job.
Poignant.
Yes, there you go.
Yeah, no, it looks amazing, and a perfect opportunity for you to spread more awareness on all of that. Like, we don't talk about that much over here, for example, because it feels like certain things that you guys experience, like everything you guys just mentioned, completely foreign to me.
Well, no, I mean, the indigenous people in Europe are white people. But then you still have different... I cannot come to the right word. I'm going to throw something in the private chat to you, because I am stumped. And I can't even spell this word right.
Chances are high I won't be able to pronounce it, so...
You'll know what I'm saying.
Before you finish typing, I'm just going to say it's 3 a.m. and I've had wine, so if I don't know the answer, that's my excuse, and I'm sticking to it.
Well, I'll give it to you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's a good excuse.
Oh, thank God there's spell check in the chat. That's cool. That's the thing. I can obviously I can't pronounce words, which we've learned tonight, and my spelling's even worse. But I know what I'm thinking most of the time.
Let's see if we can figure it out.
I'm still gonna give Elise shit and tell her she's just pretending. So she wouldn't be in a closet eating macaroni and cheese. That's why she didn't want to.
That sounds like a good place to be, though.
Romani.
Yeah,
is it just Romani?
Okay. There's a couple other I can't remember, but I know Romani is the main term.
I couldn't remember if that was more ethnic.
What was it? Bro?
I've heard traveler, but that's also like vague and broad.
Yeah.
But Romani, I think, is the preferred term. That's what we've learned over here, but obviously I can't speak for anybody in the U.S.
Yeah, I don't know. There's a couple other ones. I can't.
Yeah.
I don't want to venture a guess and offend anybody, but I know Romani's the preferred term.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, I don't know why my brain gets linked up to Romanians. Romanian, and then in my brain it just comes together as interchangeable there.
Okay.
I think that's why I got confused on that one.
Are?
No, they aren't. They aren't. I can never remember, and I always need to double check myself on that.
Yeah. I mean, they are extremely similar words, and if you have a different way of interpreting words and remembering words, then it kind of makes sense that they kind of blend together. But yeah, no, I think Romani is the preferred term, and it's not interchangeable, and it's pronounced zine. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Pronounced zine.
Today on Lessons with Rob.
Anyway. I don't know. What do we talk about now? I had completely no outline or script for tonight. It was just supposed to be a big happy hour.
I feel like
I'm pretty sure the outline was just alcohol.
I feel like Elise had Mad Libs and drawing contests and nonsense and.
Yep, that's what we did last time. Sans alcohol, but yes.
Yeah, Elise is always good for some Mad Libs.
Yeah, and the drawing competitions were really fun. Really, really unfair because we had to go up against Neil and Danny, of all people. And Elise can draw, even though she says she can't draw. She can draw.
Oh, she can draw.
Yeah, she's a freaking fashion designer.
Yes. Oh my god.
No, she totally sandbags herself.
She's
but
always
she can
like,
draw.
I can't draw, and I'm like, yes, you can.
Yeah, Miel can draw. Literally, I had the worst drawings. Kayla was there. She can draw.
She sure can.
I found my drawing from the last time Elise made me draw anything earlier today.
Is that the hamster on
That's the hamster, yeah. with the dead tree and the sun that's vomiting.
I'm pretty sure I have. Oh yeah, so Elise made us draw. Sorry.
Oh,
sorry, Jax, didn't interrupt.
I have a visitor.
Is it your husband?
No, it's my little one.
Oh, okay.
The hamster on the swing. I said you had to come around here and make an appearance to see it.
But last time we were here, Elise made us draw jellyfish in a skirt, and
aren't their tentacles like basically a skirt?
Yeah, I don't know what to tell you. This is what I came up with.
I love it.
I gave her lips and eyelashes, you know.
It kind of looks like a crystal ball with legs.
It does. No, it really does. Holy shit. Oh no. And then we had to draw, what was it? So if I said to you, draw a gorilla with a goldfish on its head skipping a rope, would you assume the gorilla is skipping the rope or the fish is skipping the rope?
The goldfish.
God damn it.
But that's it's misplaced modifiers, so
yeah, right. I didn't see the comma, I just heard the instructions and I assumed it was the gorilla skipping the rope. So
logistically it would be easier for the gorilla to skip rope with a fish on his head than a fish to skip rope on a gorilla's head, so you see where you got that.
Thank you.
Goldfish don't even have legs.
So they're just constantly skipping the rope.
That's true, like, they are already jumping weird... out of water.
But yeah, no, it's a shame Elise couldn't make it, but her drawing adventures are really fun. We also had to do self-portraits, I think, but oh yeah, I have a self-portrait.
It's beautiful.
Is that Gargamel?
Yes, yes it is. We're just gonna say yes.
That's so mean.
It is not a potato holding a knife. It is Gargamel. Thank you.
What are you doing?
Is it the little witch?
It is the little witch.
Can you tell her I love her?
Rose says she loves you. She's a hot mess.
She's the best. I'm such a fan. Whatever she ends up doing with life, I'm just gonna fangirl over your kid. She's amazing.
I'm pretty sure it's gonna be evil overlord, but
that's fine. They need minions. We're good.
Awkward silence.
Yes.
Yes.
Contemplating our role as minions when my child takes over the world.
I mean, honestly, I feel like her end goal would just be make sure that all the animals are happy and free, and if that's what I have to do, then oh well. What is happening right now?
I thought that was your foot. I was gonna work.
Oh,
Speaking of, can we just all collectively agree that the next time we get Elise on a stream, we have to make her draw with her feet? She says she can, and I need to see it. It's the morbid curiosity, Jax. Lean in.
I don't need to see her do it, but I want to see the picture, and I'll have you corroborate the story.
All right. Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
Want to see monkey toes holding pins. I have a anti-foot fetish.
You know, it's so weird. For the longest time, my sister has been saying that she's also involved in DSOP. She's Eli Hayden Loft is my real life sister, but she has an aversion to feet as well, and I thought she was super weird for it. But ever since joining the writing community, it feels like hating feet is way more common than being neutral to feet.
Yeah, I've had like literal panic attacks from people like touching me with their feet. I have a bad problem. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Fair. My sister gets pretty angry if feet get close to her or touch her things. So obviously, what I do is if she annoys me, I threaten her by touching her. Threatening to touch her with my feet. I love seeing her head in the corner there, Jack. That's so cute.
My stepdaughter hates having her feet touched. So, I mean, she's an adult now, but like when she was an annoying teenager who would do horrible things, I would just wait for her to be laying on the couch and just run by and go, snap a toe.
Oh, that's evil! Like cracking the knuckle of the toe.
Oh, ow.
If I got her good, yeah, it would do a little pop. But even just like grabbing a big toe or something, wiggling it, it would just get her like and like, you know what? Stop being a little jerk.
Oh my god, I can't handle having my feet touched. I'm extremely ticklish, and I will kick. I will, and the thing is, like, my thighs are probably the strongest part of my body. I'll break a nose if I have to, and I won't be sorry. Don't touch my feet.
Yeah, I don't like mine touched either. I don't want to be touched by them. Don't touch mine. Just
pretend feet.
Yeah, there are no feet here.
You have a very blonde shark, Jax.
I know.
Tiny the jaws theme. Jaws. Yeah, exactly. She's so cute. I can't deal.
She knows it too.
I can't blame her for knowing.
Relax.
But yeah. Awkward silence.
Yes.
You should have brought a kitty to make an appearance.
They're asleep.
So wake one up.
Kitties don't sleep that much.
These do. I swear to God, they.
You know, it's probably because they're so new.
Yeah.
When we first got Helix, we literally named him Helix because it was a type of snail. And he would and he slept for like 3 days. And then once he got used to being here, he was the craziest dog. Like, the people we got him from were like, oh, he's one of the calmest puppies of the whole litter. And he came from a litter of like 11. And they're like, he's one of the calmest ones. He doesn't bite your toes when you come outside. I was like, well, if that's your measure of calm, okay. But after he got used to being here, he was the craziest little dog, just on one all the time. I was like, well, I'm glad we named you after a snail.
I'm double checking if any of them are awake. No promises, though.
Do you have them on Anycam?
No. Although I did, so I've considered getting a baby monitor just for the cats.
Listen to them all the time.
Asleep. Yeah. They're staying in my sister's room, so they have someone there all the time because she's between both our brothers. So anytime she needs to leave the room, one of them can go and help. And if I had them down here, yes, you'd be able to see them, but it's a big room. There are cables everywhere. It's not worth the risk. Yeah, no kittens today.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. I'll post a lot of videos and pictures, I promise.
I hope so. I want to see them playing.
I have a couple of videos of them eating my hands. I can promise that. They really like to eat my hands. Tim's like, ugh, cats again.
Yeah, I've been enjoying the butterflies and all the pictures in your garden.
Oh yeah, no, that's been super fun. I've been very lucky with those. Yeah, no, I've managed to see a couple of insects that don't seem to be too common in Switzerland. Nothing particularly rare, just not that common. But no, I've discovered a weird subspecies, I guess, of moths that they look like hummingbirds with the way they move, and it's awesome. I'll share videos and pictures of that. They're amazing.
I'm trying to. Don't they have like nectar horns too?
There's
a breed of moth that like has nectar horns, and they move kind of like hummingbirds.
When you say nectar horn, do you mean the I can't pronounce it.
Proboscis.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's called.
That curls and then straightens and curls.
Sure. I don't know. Yes.
Yes.
Flowers, yes.
Yeah, so they have that, and I think I have a couple of videos and pictures where you can see it curled and then straightening, and it's super weird, but it's really cool.
It's super cool.
Yeah.
I like all your bumblebee videos.
They're so cute.
Yeah, I love
They're
bees.
Huge. Yeah, no, I love bees too, but I don't know about you guys, but the bumblebees we get are like this big. They're chunky.
I don't see a lot of bumblebees here.
Oh.
Honeybees and wood bees, which they look like bumblebees. They're big, but they burrow in the wood, and they don't sting. They can bite, but they don't sting because they don't have stingers.
I don't know what a wood bee is because I'm still learning, but we have carpenter bees, which look terrifying.
That's the same thing.
It's the same thing, yeah. We just call them wood bees here instead of carpenter bees.
Yeah, so the ones you guys get, are they black? Like full black?
Can be.
Because the ones we get are black with one of them has like brownish wings and the other is full black with blue wings, and it's incredibly weird. I love them. They're like kaiju bees is what I call them.
They just look exactly like bumblebees because they don't have stingers. They mimic a bumblebee so that predators don't come after them.
Okay, so ours definitely have spiky butts, and I will share pictures and videos of that. Apparently ours, it's probably just like a different species, but ours will sting if we get close to their nests, but their nests aren't anywhere near us, so they tend to leave me alone and just let me get close.
Yeah.
But yeah, apparently I have no self-preservation when it comes to insects, so that's interesting.
I have a problem with bees. I'll just let them crawl all over me. I don't care.
Yeah, they're really cute.
Honeybees, I'm just like in the trash can. I'm like, come here, guys. Friends. People are like, what is wrong with you? I'm like, if you're calm, they won't sting you. It's fine. Look how cute they are.
That's what I've been saying about wasps, but I'm still waiting for the day where that backfires. Like,
you gotta be careful with
wasps. Yeah, that's
sometimes
what I've heard.
You're your friend, and then they're like, yeah, we're not friends anymore. Fuck you.
Woke up on the wrong side of the nest and just stab in the face. Yeah. I feel like that's going to happen inevitably, but until then...
Oh, God.
No, you go ahead.
I'm not really scared of wasps, but I'm more leery of them because my dad was allergic to hornets. So,
Oh shit.
Other insects besides bees, I'm more careful with. And I've
That's
never ran
fair.
into a hornet in nature, so.
Actually, now that you say that I think it's the same. I can't tell the difference yet with the hornet though. Like I don't know what the difference is.
I think they're bigger, maybe.
Okay, because what we do have here, which I looked up, and apparently it's a wasp, but they're about this big. I wish I were joking. This like this
God.
long, black, but they're
Those the
shaped like
murder
wasps.
wasps.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm pretty sure they're out to kill.
Big. Ugh, no,
They're
go away.
huge. They're huge, and they genuinely scare me.
Yeah. I don't know.
Ooh,
There's
a link
this
about wasps.
Asia that are like this. Like two-handers. Have you seen pictures of those?
A what?
They're like wasps or something in Asia. They're like huge.
Oh, those
huge.
gigantic killers.
Yeah, they're like
Yeah.
two-hand size wasps.
You're joking.
Like Donkey Kong Country size wasps.
No thanks. Okay, so it looks like the wasps that we get in our garden look like yellow jackets, and those are the ones that like to land on me.
We get a lot of yellow jackets here too. Yep. And that guy, the red guy, what's it called? Paper wasps.
Yeah.
There's a really
Okay, no. Cool. Those are the ones we have. Paper wasps.
Paper wasps.
Yes.
Those are the ones that nest outside my front door.
We get a lot of those too. And those are the ones who tend to not be super aggressive. Which is nice. But
mud daubers are really bad here.
I think the ones that look closest to the ones that I'm talking about are the great black wasps. And they look terrifying. They really do. It's like those are the ones that set my instincts off and I will back away. But the other ones I'm still kind of like, you can touch me. Everything will be fine, I'm sure.
I'm laughing at this bald-faced hornet. What a name.
I actually may be able to show you guys a cat. I may have a kitten delivery in a hot second.
Oh, yay, kitten delivery.
We shall see.
I have to live vicariously through you because I'm allergic to cats.
Oh, no.
We have one because the little blonde shark is a witch and she conjured one, but...
Oh, yes, she did.
So, Tim, my little girl was asking for a cat for like months and months, and we're like, no, you can't have a cat, you can't have a cat. I'm allergic to cats. We have dogs, you can't have a cat. And then, out of the blue one day, it sounds weird to say it this way, but the bathtub was meowing. Like, all day. And finally, my husband opened the plumbing access where you can get to the plumbing for the bathtub. And the Siamese cat comes jumping through that door and just loved on everybody, went straight to the dog food all the way across the house in the kitchen, ate out of the dog food bowl, and then came back and jumped in my daughter's bed and went to sleep. And she slept here ever since.
How long ago was that?
Like 3 years ago.
That's so cute. That is so cute.
She knew exactly where to go to eat. She jumped right in my daughter's bed and went to sleep, and I was like...
That's definitely witchcraft.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, Emily, what did you do?
And then there was that time she conjured a unicorn and she conjured a cookie.
Yes. So she had an eyelash on her cheek one day, and I took it and I was like, make a wish. And she did the whole... And then she blew it. And then I was like, what'd you wish for? And she's like, I wish for a unicorn. And then she stared at the front door. Like, she was waiting for it to come. And I was like, sometimes unicorns take a while. She's like, okay, I'll wait. And then like 2 days later, my husband worked with his grandpa in the poultry shop, and he texted me a picture of this unicorn firework. And he was like, "Look what my grandpa got Emily for 4th of July." And I was like, "Oh my God, you don't even know." It was
That's
super
funny.
weird. And then when she was too young to even talk, really, she came out of the kitchen one day with a cookie like this big. And I don't know where it came from. I hadn't bought it. She came out of the kitchen. I was like, "Where did you get that?" And all she could say, because she couldn't talk, she was just like, "Cookie." And I was like, "Yes, I understand you have a cookie. Where did you get it?" She was like, "Cookie." And I was like, "What did that cookie come from?" To this day, I have no idea where the cookie came from, but she had a cookie almost as big as her head. And she was just like, "Cookie. You're a witch."
I'm telling you, she needs to rule the world. We will be fine if she takes over.
I mean, she conjures unicorns and cats and cookies, so those are all wonderful things.
Literally, all we need to survive. And maybe some dogs. That would be great too. Apparently, the cat is eating, so you guys are gonna have to wait a hot second because she is slow.
Mm.
Which
Yeah.
one is it?
You'll see. I'm gonna be that asshole. Like, you just wait.
Okay. Just waiting.
But yeah, no, the cats are doing great. They're exploring a lot. Ooh, I think I hear a delivery coming.
I love that you guys took in a third cat so you didn't separate them. That's awesome.
Yeah, it was also partly because I chose one of them from pictures and my sister chose the other one, and these were supposed to be for my mom, so she was feeling a bit down about it. Oh, here we go. Oh, gimme. Oh my goodness. Let go of the t-shirt, you little monster. So this is Riot.
Oh,
This is Red Riot.
Cute.
This is mine. This is the one I chose. She's on the keyboard now, so if something happens, I apologize. Here you go. Check it out. Look up.
She's the one I like the best.
She is, yeah,
What a
mine. There we go. There we go.
Hi, kitty.
Oh, she's tired.
She's so
Okay.
precious.
She has cute
You
little
just-
socks.
Yes.
Yes.
Please take her back to bed, poor baby. So that's the one that I chose, and I'm probably biased, but she's the smartest. I just heard my sister snort. Listen, she's the most cautious, and to me, that's smart. So she's cautious, and yeah, no, she's adorable. She likes to lick. But yeah, no, they're really fun. Ah,
I love kitties.
yes. Yeah. So that was Red Riot, named after an anime character from My Hero Academia.
Mm.
And then we have Rocket Raccoon, obvious character, and then Robin, as in Batman and Robin.
Not Robin.
Not Robin, Tim. Robine.
Robin.
Who the hell would say that?
Who the hell says Zine?
The smartest people.
Okay. Okay, do you guys say GIF?
No. I say GIF.
GIF.
No, Tim.
It's a GIF.
GIF.
It's a GIF.
GIF
It's
is with a J and it's peanut butter.
GIF.
I don't know. Jax lives in the US. I'm sure she knows Jif peanut butter too and still says Jif.
do.
And the creator says Jif. So that's all I need.
Yeah.
He's the authority.
He can go to hell.
Well, it's not a giraffe, is it? It's a giraffe.
It's a giraffe, yeah.
I don't care.
This argument will continue forever.
I'm glad we have conflict.
it gets people riled up. This is really important content. Okay,
I know. Conflict and thirst is really what sells things, as much as we don't like that.
Are we talking about literal thirst or
no
thirst?
Like thirst.
Yeah. No, that's true. That sells, which is why I tend to put it in everything.
There's a tasteful way to do it, and then there's a gratuitous way to do it, and you get to pick which path you go down, and that's very telling.
Yeah. No, that's true. That's true. I did see I've seen a lot of crowdfunding projects that are pretty much just
the big boob comics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty much the whole selling point, which kind of sucks. But I will say I had a day where I was just in my feelings about the fact that we hadn't fully funded Dark Side of Purity really, really fast, and seeing all these other projects that were pretty much just, male gaze on illustrated women, and they were funded really, really fast and hit huge targets. And it sucked, but at the same time,
those are always depressing. But
yeah,
I always look at those and I think to myself, guys, you realize you can look at something that's real and probably for free.
I was gonna say, why y'all paying for it?
Yeah.
Just free on other sites. You're
seriously, dumb. And it's Kickstarters usually come at a premium too. We priced Dark Side of Purity at retail to make it more accessible, but typically Kickstarter is going to have a bit of a markup because you're trying to raise the money. And so you're paying a premium price for cartoon boobs, guys. What? I don't understand this at all.
I'm hoping that actually the characterization and stories are awesome. I mean, who knows? Maybe there's superpowers involved or really important social issues, but
the superpower is how they stay up and don't sag to the hips.
You are preaching to the choir.
Yeah. Or the certain curvature of the spine that is so unnatural, but yet nobody ever thinks of that critically. And if you do point out how poorly drawn the anatomy is, and not people are will be oh, whatever, you just don't like sexy comics. No, I just want something to be drawn, somewhat real.
I will say that a lot of the indie stuff that I've seen recently that is very sort of are X-rated.
Mm-hmm.
They do better with the anatomy than actual big comics. I saw something you shared a couple of months ago where the proportions and the placement just made zero sense. I don't understand what was happening there. It was like they drew it without looking. They turned off their monitor and were like, "Here, let's put this together and see what happens." And that's awesome. That's great. Let's do that.
Yeah, it was a big thing in the 90s and early aughts. Comics was just this ridiculously stylized thing where it was almost you remember the TV show Eon Flux?
I never actually saw it, but
no,
I saw the movie.
Yeah, but you can picture the main character and how she has thin, tiny little waist and everything else, and I don't know, spines that could curve like this. It's why would you even draw something like that? But that just became prevalent, and I don't know, I think if you're doing it in a tasteful way, in a good way, Charlie Stickney has Galarian funding a Kickstarter again, and if you flip through that page, you see there's some early pages with some nudity in it, but it's done very well. It's done very tasteful, and that I would point to as an example of how you can do that in comics without the nudity being the big selling point.
Yeah, I think so. Before you guys, the idea of being involved in comics was completely foreign to me. It never occurred to me. But since working on Sentience and getting sneak peeks of the art that Danny does, both for Sentience and other stuff, like I'm seeing a lot of this very tasteful sort of storytelling that you can convey a very intimate scene with minimal gratuitous nudity or vulgarity. And like, I'm not saying there's anything particularly wrong with that. Sometimes, you know, the really graphic stuff works, and that's great, you know. But to immediately fall back on it, I feel like detracts from the story if it's not necessary. But it's been pretty awesome, and it's actually like the way that Danny and Elise work in particular has influenced a lot of how I'm trying to handle the graphic novel that we're trying to put together. And there is a lot of sexual content in what I wrote, and I think we're going to go for the more graphic lean toward it, but I feel like with Elise and Danny's hands, it's going to be really tasteful, and it's going to be more intimate and romantic than it would be otherwise. So yeah, there's a time and a place is basically TLDR.
I think that what you're saying about being gratuitous in comic books, I think it's probably the same in literature. If you're reading erotica or romance, there's a line, and if the whole thing is just gratuitous sex the whole time and the story's being interrupted by that, then you're just writing sex for sex sake. And what's the point in writing a book when you can just write pornography?
Yeah.
Why sell it as a novel when it's just pornography? But if you have gratuitous sex in there, but it's driving the story, then that's a different thing. So the same, I think, is true with comic books. The nudity and the intimacy, if driving the story, makes it what it is. If you're just throwing in naked girls with weird proportions just to sell it to guys who just want to buy it for that, then what's the point?
That's the issue for me as well. Like, if I'm not hating on erotica and even smut, like, do it, you know? There's always a market for that. There's people who really enjoy that stuff. I would probably enjoy it if I delved more into it. That's great. Do it. But don't try to sell it as something it isn't. I think that's where my issue is. Like, if it's just straight up erotica and smut for the sake of being erotica and smut, go for it, you know? Make your money, make your art. It has its place. Just be clear about what the intention is. Be clear that there's not going to be anything different or deeper. Like, I'm not trying to shit on intimacy here, okay? So just...
It's a fine line trying to explain the difference without...
Exactly, and I
well, it's what's the selling point? Is the selling point your story and a narrative that just happens to have some very graphic scenes that are literary devices and serve a purpose? Or is it just the scenes and the illustrations that are selling it? And, you know, you might as well have nothing in the word bubbles at all and just the drawings.
Right.
Yeah, like in those instances, maybe the word bubbles detract from the art and the story that you are telling.
Probably not the bubbles that the readers are paying attention to.
Exactly. But
I'm going to take a 2-minute break. Be right back.
All right. We can try to pronounce different words in the meantime.
Oh boy, maybe we could do that instead of Mad Lib sometime.
I actually, so I have.
Oh, okay, thank you. Night, I love you. Wife just popped in to let me know she put the chickens away.
That's so cute.
Yeah.
I like The idea, the phrasing just makes me think of like a little chicken drawer where you just tuck them in.
Kinda. Let me see if I can pull up a picture of the coop I built last year and if it actually shows up on the camera.
That's so cute.
Oh my god, I am opening every app other than the actual photos. Let's see. Yeah, we built. My neighbor has worked in construction for like 40 some years, and he finally retired this winter, or really just a couple months ago. So he helped me build this new coop last year, and we made it large enough so that a person could stand in it comfortably to clean easier. But that's
what?
Yeah. So
Holy crap! That's awesome.
And that's just a reflection of the ring light. But yeah, so that's the size of the coop itself. And
that is super cool.
There is a little housing area inside of it that they sleep in and are like locked up and safe for the night.
That's so cute. That's a very cute chicken drawer. Welcome back, Jax.
Hello again.
Did Amelie need tucking?
No, not yet. She's
Wait, what time is it over there?
8:30.
Oh, yeah, never mind.
Also, summer started, and she decided to reverse her sleep cycle, so we've been really fighting her to get her back on a normal sleep schedule.
I mean, fair. I understand both perspectives there. It's summer. She can do what she wants, but also she has parents.
I mean, I don't fight her too hard. I'm just like, you have to be in bed at a certain time. Obviously, there's nothing I can do to force you to sleep.
Yep.
But also, I'm going to wake you up at a certain point during the day. So if you're tired, that's on you. Because
that's
I put
fair.
you in bed and you didn't go to sleep.
Ah.
So that's your responsibility. Try to balance out your partying lifestyle.
So
she's busy conjuring more animals, Jax.
I guess.
Oh, God, that reflection is terrible. So that's the little actual house within the coop that they sleep in.
Okay, that's really cute. Cute. Chickens are adorable as well.
They have like a swing that's suspended from the top of their little house, and the new chickens are actually using it, so that's kind of nice.
Do you have a rooster? Because they're not very adorable.
No, we're not allowed to have roosters.
Yeah. City limits.
Yeah, so the town code is goofy, and it just says you are not allowed to have agricultural animals within whatever zones for regular residential. And so it's super vague, right? So you have to go, we get a variance to the town code to allow us to have chickens, and it's a rubber stamp thing. They don't really care. But because the code is so stupid, like, you've got to go through that process. But part of it is absolutely no roosters. Not a problem with me, because they are vicious, mean little things.
They really are. When I was a kid, I used to stay with my aunt and uncle during the summers, and they had like 40 acres, and they had chickens and geese and ducks and ostriches and emus and peacocks and just crazy, ridiculous nonsense. But my cousin was staying there, and she was out chasing the chickens one day. I don't know why she thought that was a good idea, but the rooster got a hold of her and caught her with this things on the back of his claw, and she had like good 1-inch puncture wounds all up and down her legs where that rooster got hold of her. It was bad.
They can really do some damage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was really tore up.
But like,
it's like, you should have just been feeding the chickens cauliflower. You're chasing them.
Mallards, it's like male ducks are horrible, rapey animals too, and they are mean as hell. So like, you know, nature's wild. I love it because it's sit back and you will see like the most amazing things, but like you'll be so shocked at what actually goes on.
Yeah.
Compared to what you grew up watching, like Disney movies and seeing all those
my
happy
God.
scenes. We're like, oh my God, no. Animals are horrible and vicious too.
Yep. And I've learned a lot about animals from Elise, like the horror stories that Elise shares about everything she knows regarding animals. She has ruined otters for me forever.
Oh yeah.
Otters are super
Forever.
mean.
Holy crap!
They're so cute.
They're so cute, but you could write villain stories about otters, like irredeemable villains.
Well, did she tell you about what are they? The big river otters, not the sea otters.
Yes,
the giant monster ones.
They're sociopaths. Like if they were humans, they would be hunted by the FBI. They're
so evil.
Truly. But her hair is amazing.
It's such a wild mess to take care of.
I can't imagine, but it looks worth the effort.
It is.
But yeah, Elise is a font of knowledge. Horrible, horrible animal knowledge. And I like, she has in many ways ruined my life with all the animal information that she gives me, and also the pictures she sends me. And like,
I can only
the concept, the concept art for some of the things that I've been writing for Star Maker, but also other stories that I've written, completely inspired by the shit she sends me.
God.
It's just, she's like, but have you seen the stork? Have you seen this goat? I'm just like, well, I have now, and they will never leave my brain.
Well, that makes sense because a lot of your mythologies have so many creative creatures in them.
Thank you. Yeah, so some of them are totally based on the actual myths, and then there are other things that are just based on some random ass thing that Elise sends me at 2 a.m. Like, hey, but have you seen this goat with the giant balls and the face coming out of a face?
It would have been so nice to have around when I was writing my trilogy.
Well, for the next trilogy, Jax.
Well, I created like a whole magical menagerie in the second book.
I need to get through my TBR to get to your books. I really do. I've been slacking so much, and I'm currently reading another friend's book. Like, just shout out to Jamie Jackson. But I'm reading her book right now, and it's really good, but my brain just keeps telling me, hey, you read all the time for work. Why are you doing this in your free time?
I think that's my problem. I'm always writing or researching and then doing arcs for work, and I haven't finished the Ancient Ones, and I want to so bad.
Yeah, I haven't even gotten around to them because I built up my TBR really quite big before even meeting any of the people from Quill and Crow. Yeah. And the best way for me to like keep track of what I'm reading is to read in like chronological order when I got them. And yeah, I'm behind by, what month are we? We're in the 7th. I'm behind by about 8 months. Yeah, it's rough.
I have such a bad habit of when I get overwhelmed, then I just pick up something I've already read, like a comfort read, and then I'm like, now I can do this. So I just reread the whole Hunger Games trilogy in the last month because like I'm so overwhelmed. I just need something easy and fast
that you enjoyed.
Yeah, between movies, between writing breaks, between when I step outside to smoke, and I can read like 3 pages while I'm standing outside getting a break from the whole wide world. Okay, I'm in 3 pages. And so that's why I'm not getting through anything new, because I'm like, I just need a decompression read. I know I like this book.
That is 100% how it is for me as well, except that I'm a very I'm a visual person, which is why I'm surprised that I went into like lit instead of comics.
Right.
I don't know what the word is because I feel like comics still count as literature, but I know you guys know what I mean. I'm talking about literal words instead of pictures, but I am a very visual person, so instead of going back to comfort reads, I go to comfort shows. And a lot of comfort shows have a lot of seasons, and then my time just disappears.
I do the same thing with shows. And I started a couple new shows, or I started One Piece because of you guys. But
oh my god, the longest show in the world.
but wait, I got like 12 episodes in. No, I got like 8 episodes in. Okay. And then my husband came home one night and he's like, "Of course you're watching this." I was like, "What does that mean?" And he's like, "The one anime show I wanted to watch for a while." And I was like,
"Oh,
"You literally
no
have
way.
never said anything about any anime ever." And I started watching this, and now you're like, "Oh, you started watching it without me." So I had to start over.
Was he? So he wasn't messing with you?
No, he really wanted to watch it.
That's so good.
Like, I played the first episode, which is like the most ridiculous out of all of them.
It's so good.
And I was like, it's weird. It starts out really weird. It gets really good. And then at the end of it, I was like, "You sure you want to watch this?" And he's like, yeah. He was like, "It's weird, but yeah." I was like, "Okay, all right. I guess."
Do you watch a lot of anime, Tim?
Chris is more the anime guy than me. Vampire Hunter D is just like probably the one anime that I ever really latched onto.
Okay, I actually haven't seen that one.
No. You can find it on YouTube. The entire, like, there's a main one, and then there's some other. Actually, hold on.
AD is probably so happy with you, Jack.
Oh, Alex was so upset. He's like, "We're supposed to be
Oh my god, yes. That's so good. Oh, damn.
Yeah, so, what was it? Dark Horse? Yeah, Dark Horse released a big omnibus last fall. So this combines, I think, like 3 of the novels. Right, it's got a little bit of artwork in it and stuff.
Oh, that's gorgeous.
But almost along the lines of a light novel.
Okay, yeah,
but not
that's
quite.
Awesome.
I like that.
Yeah. So it starts off. So this is book 1. I think they're actually doing a book 2 omnibus, which is. I'll probably have to grab that too. Come on, you. Man, they really don't do a table of contents on this thing. They don't. Oh my god, there's 3 books in here and it doesn't even break it down. What is it? I would have a bone to pick with your editor.
Good luck to you.
Yes.
Yeah, right.
Okay, on the back, the omnibus collects the first 3 Vampire Hunter D novels. Vampire Hunter D, Razor of Gales, not the Gales, and Vampire Hunter D, Demon Death Chase. And includes the stories that inspired both the original Vampire Hunter D anime and its sequel, Vampire Hunter D Bloodlust.
I need you to read everything like this now.
Yeah. My wife gets so mad when I start doing that. She's like, could you stop being weird?
No.
I'll just pick up the most asinine piece of junk mail and read it like that. I suppose it probably does get annoying after, like, every day. But yeah, so you can find a few of those. I think you can find the regular Vampire Hunter D and Bloodlust on YouTube.
I will have to eventually because I'm on my anime phase and I have a list of 3, one of which includes One Piece, which is over 1,000 episodes right now.
And Fairy Tail. Because we have to watch
I'm so excited to make you guys watch Fairy Tail, alright? It's really ridiculous, but it's just wholesome content.
Kim, I never, until I met Ro and all of her friends, I had only watched Sailor Moon willingly, and Dragon Ball Z because my nephew, who's actually 4 years older than me, was super into Dragon Ball Z and made us watch it all the time. So I'd seen all of Dragon Ball Z and I liked Sailor Moon, and that was all of my anime experience. And then they tricked me into loving anime with something not quite anime light, Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Mm.
And that's how they hooked me. They're like, now you have to watch One Piece. Now you have to watch Fairy Tail.
Yes.
That's funny.
It's so good. It's Avatar is basically gateway anime for Western people. That's
it is
what
such
that is.
a gateway drug.
Yeah, it is.
And
then
it
just gets
I'm
more.
totally gonna watch it again and again because
Yes, its rewatchability is incredible. And then if you just get into
so good.
And anime does that perfectly. Yeah. I don't know. I hate that I go through phases. It's literally only because I can't watch them dubbed. I have to watch them subbed, and my attention span requires I do multiple things at the same time. So sitting down,
I'm gonna have to watch them dubbed because
that's fair.
I don't have the attention span or the time.
That's very fair. Yeah.
Watch them, and I'd have to watch them on my computer because I can't remember to order new glasses or to go to my copy of my prescription so I can get new glasses.
Please get new glasses.
That's the first step. I have to go get my prescription printed out because I can easily order new glasses online. That's not an issue, but I have to go get a new. I lost the paper that had my prescription on it.
Oh shit! All right, yeah.
I have to go down and get it printed, and I think I'm due for another eye exam.
Please do it.
I'm going to. I'm not so blind that I can't see to survive.
Fair. Okay, I am. I absolutely am. I would not be able to work without my glasses, so I have to prioritize those things.
Right.
Yeah.
I used to be.
Did you get
oh, good.
corrective surgery?
Yeah, when I was in the Army, so the taxpayers paid for that. Thank you very much.
I was gonna say, the Native Clinic used to give me free.
Nice.
A pair of free lenses every year. Nice. They stopped doing.
Used to? Oh damn, that's
they stopped doing lenses. They still do free eye exams, but now I have to order my lenses.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. But please prioritize that. As someone who is slowly, thankfully, I've had a headache issue recently that I had to go to multiple doctors to figure out. But getting to an ophthalmologist, I think is how you pronounce it, has helped a lot. And seeing, the way that eye health affects just the way I function day to day is a big deal. And
struggling trying to figure out what's going on.
Yeah, no, it looks like it was just I have an eye muscle that's not as strong as it should be, so it doesn't focus hard enough on up close stuff. It was a very basic issue, but I wouldn't have figured it out without the help of eye experts.
I think it took me 2 years to figure out what was going on with mine, and I've got bad sinus health and a deviated septum, which I still need to get surgery on. So,
and that affects your eyes. Holy shit!
No, that's what's caused my headaches. They gave me 2 prescription allergy medications and a muscle relaxer that helps relieve the tension in the sinus muscles back here that helps keep the headaches away. But yeah, I've got my deviated septum fixed.
That's rough.
God damn. Yeah.
That thing can cause chronic sinusitis as well, and then you're just constantly miserable.
Yeah.
That does not sound like fun at all. Can I ask what happened, or?
I don't. So I think when Like I said earlier, I played softball as a kid, and there was a time I was like sitting the bench and I was throwing the ball up.
Oh no!
And I missed and I hit myself in the face and broke my nose. And I
Oh
think that's
no!
bad, but who knows? I'm pretty sure that was it. Yeah.
Ouch! Yeah.
Yeah.
That fucking sucks.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just realized you're not wearing headphones and your kid is around, and I've just been swearing willy nilly. And...
Oh yeah. I have a bad potty mouth. It's okay.
Okay.
It's okay.
But,
yeah. She's not a repeater of words. She's a
good egg, is what she is.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's awful.
She might be smarter than I am, so.
Maybe that's how she gets her conjuring powers, just taking all the curses and bottling them up.
Yes! I love that idea. That she turns all the bad stuff that other people do into cookies and unicorns and cats.
That's right. I love that. You should write that into a children's book.
That'd be super cute.
Yeah, you can draw. You could illustrate that. That is a really cool idea. I like that idea.
Publishing children's books is a mess, though. I have a friend or someone in my local writing group that does children's books, and it's a mess to try it if you don't have a publisher.
Oh,
trying to do it through Amazon, it's a mess.
Yeah.
I bet. We do want to have children's books. Just saying.
Oh, really?
Really?
Right. Well, our thing, right? I always say we don't stick to any specific genre, age bracket, format. Right? We're all over the place because we have our mission, and that is objectively what's important to me. Right? Furthering representation, inclusion, and diversity.
Comics
and comics, yes. And every time I go into my shop, there's the kids section, which also has my beloved Transformers comics.
Stop it.
Yes, and I just look at them like there's a good amount in there, but it's pretty much Marvel and DC, some IDW stuff because they publish Transformers and they have the licenses for like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and G.I. Joe. They really hit that millennial nostalgia. But I look at it like there just should be more stuff for kids. And honestly, if you want to look at it from like a very crude business scheme, get the customers when they're young and you have them for the lifetime. Whatever. Yeah. I'm pretty sure that doesn't work out too well with like comics publishers. But
I think that comic books would be better for middle grade and younger. Honestly, I watch her trying to read. And she likes to read, and she reads well. But if I give her a book in her age group where there's a lot of words in a blocked paragraph at the top, she instantly is turned off by it. She's like, I don't want to read this.
Eyes glaze over.
Like, I'm done. Yeah. I think comic books would be good for kids her age.
They are the gateway drug of reading.
Yeah. I think that's good.
That's the like double-edged argument as well, though. Like, the development of the brain is probably affected when it has to force itself to function only with letters. But at the same time, the easiest way to engage a child is with something very visual that they can immediately, identify. And, it's which one suits your kid best is essentially what it should be. So there should be more comics so that kids who don't function better with letters can have more to pick from.
Especially good for autistic kids.
Yeah, I can imagine. I say this like being the only one out of this trio who hasn't raised a child. Sorry, I just realized.
I would say raising a child is a stretch to say for me. Like I kind of pattered through having a couple of step kids, and I probably didn't do a great job.
I'm a step kid.
Yeah.
Like it definitely counts.
I mean, you've been a child, though. In this case, talking about literature
All right,
and
fair.
developmental
I was
awareness
born
in
this age,
children.
Jax.
You
I
don't
don't
have
know
to
what you're
raise
talking about.
children to understand how you, as a child, related to books, or
That's true.
you have a lot of brothers and sisters, how they related to
That's
books.
true.
Like,
Yeah.
this is something all of us, whether we have children or not, can understand because we
Yeah.
all were children.
That is true. I mean, I don't know about you guys. I was born this age, but it's true.
Were you
But
born with
yeah,
that shoulder tattoo?
I was. I was airbender from birth, Tim.
She was born an airbender.
Yeah.
Nice.
But no, you make an excellent point, Jax. That is very true. And I have a fair amount of siblings. I have 4 of them. Yeah. They do, like, some of them lean more toward books and some lean more toward comics. And it yeah, even the way that I enjoy stories is varied. Like, I grew up reading more than anything, and my gateway to reading was actually the Goosebumps books.
Oh, yeah.
But now, with just being overwhelmed and having developed anxiety and going through a life that was very chock full of trauma and stuff, I need the visuals. I need something concrete to, like, anchor me into the story. And yeah, so yeah, no, you're right. Is basically another TLDR for the night.
So, I struggled to read as a kid. So, like, things like comics and stuff were a nice way for me as I was going through speech classes and things like that, and doing all the phonics lessons to figure out how to say all these goofy things like zine, sign, sound it all out. Comics were an easier thing for me to pick up and not hate reading so much.
Yeah, that's
And
fair.
now I have all these books around me.
And you're making comics. That's pretty badass.
I don't know how much I'm making them as much as I just ship post and try to sell them.
I feel like, considering our generation and how marketing works on us, that counts as making comics. Absolutely. Like, I wouldn't be here.
Posting kind of sells everything these days.
Yes. You've got to have fun with it. You've got to have fun with it.
Yeah.
Like,
No, y'all who write them and illustrate them, you're the ones making them. I just try to help push them along.
but that's the point, though, isn't it? Like, Danny and Elise and all of us with DSOP, yes, we are putting the love and the passion and the experience and the trauma and the healing and all of that into the stories. But at the same time, you're using your platform as a straight white dude to help us tell those stories. And that matters as well. Like, we are grateful for that because you're giving us your space to tell our stories. And that has to matter. It has to matter, otherwise allyship isn't going to help anybody, especially not the marginalized. And in this situation, women and NBs, we need that support. Like, we can absolutely do it ourselves, for sure. Like, the power that we have is awesome, but getting that space without having to work as hard for it because you're donating it essentially. That's important.
Well, not only that, but you are paving the way for a whole new generation, a form of the business. Like, you're paving the way for indie publishing. You're remaking the business where it's fundamentally broken. Traditional publishing is fundamentally broken.
Oh, it's so
they flood the market with trash that nobody wants to read, but they read it because they're told that that's what's popular and that's what everybody's reading, and that's what the only thing that they're getting. So your small indie presses, you other people like you guys are paving the way for a whole new business. So don't downplay what you're doing. Like, you may not be the creators, the writer, or the artist, but you're changing the business, and you're changing it for people like us who aren't getting accepted by traditional publishers who won't even give us the time of day.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's very kind.
Fit in a box.
I will say, you were talking shit, Tim, about Elise
Always.
sandbagging herself, and you're doing the same thing right now.
Well, I get to. I'm the boss.
No, you don't. You don't. And that's the point. You do not get to.
We will not allow it.
Yeah, it's why, like, I have the privilege of looking white, being straight passing, living in Europe, you know, where we don't experience the same kinds of things that you guys do to a pretty shocking extent, you know, and I have to try to do right by the people who don't have those automatic privileges that I do. And it's not because they lost something, it's because I was born into something that I didn't earn. And we have to try to do something about it, because then, like, I don't see a way that could ever end in something that we don't all benefit from, you know.
Same.
Yeah. So anyway, the point is, thank you.
Appreciate it very much, bro. Thank you. And now I'm going to hide under my desk because that gets super uncomfortable when people say nice things.
You mispronounce Zine and Zine, and it's just you're not perfect. That much is clear. You say Zine.
Your hamster on a swing looked terrible.
Yes, it does.
Wow, getting personal with the art.
I could not visualize what the hell a hamster looked like when I was trying to draw that. I'm like, it's round and it's fuzzy. Do they have legs? I don't know. Here's a puking son.
Yeah, mine looked bad too. It's fine. I was like, what is that little what was that show with the hamster? It's a little, it was a cartoon. Harum. Damn it, I can't remember.
Oh, I actually know what you're talking about.
He was a little round, cute little cartoon hamster.
Okay, well, that's not what I was.
Harum.
While you're figuring that out, I'm going to step away for a couple minutes and get a refill. And
Okay.
Hamtaro!
Hamtaro, that was his name, yes.
Oh, thank you!
Remember what he looked like.
I have no idea who Wills and Chills is, but they said in the comments, Hamtaro. Yes, perfect, awesome. I didn't watch that. Yeah, next to the private chat. I discovered that about an hour into... What?
That's what he said.
AD, how is it? AD, how is it you with that picture? Who even is that?
What's going on with your Twitch picture?
To me that looks like wow, I've had
yes,
so much
it's
drink.
very visible.
My brain has stalled. Fantastic. Okay, 1 second. I didn't want people to see this happen, but there we go.
It's too late now.
Dave Grohl! Holy crap!
That's Nicolas Cage's face on Jon Snow's head.
What? And I'm over here thinking that is a very tiny Dave Grohl.
Oh,
so,
nice. I mean, I can see it, bro.
Thank you. Thank you for justifying my brain.
I don't know, like older Dave Grohl?
Yeah. But yes, Hamtaro. I did not wake up with... wake up? Wow. Listen, it's 4 in the morning, and I've had this entire bottle of wine. So, we're going with that.
Okay.
But yeah, no, I didn't grow up with it, so I've only seen GIFs.
I think my oldest was into it for a little bit.
Yeah.
I think that's why I knew what it was.
Which, by the way, her name,
Korra.
Her name being Korra, and Avatar having the whole sequel called Legend of Korra. I know it's not spelled the same, but that
it's almost awesome. The same. It just has the Legend of Korra has an extra R.
Yeah. No, that is I feel like that's serendipitous.
It's funny because everybody always spells her name wrong because they want to spell it with a C instead of a K. And I'm like, nope, it's a K.
It's actually, I've only seen it, and I've seen it twice now in the last couple of months, spelled with a C and one R. So the way that you spell it is, I've never seen it before. It's really cool. And yeah, I don't know. The fact that you ended up just falling in love with Avatar, and then your daughter's name is Korra, and the whole sequel is Legend of Korra, that's awesome.
I gotta watch that next.
You do. You really do. Listen, it has its issues, and season 2 is atrocious, but it's really worth it. In the end, like, it's worth it.
Hello again.
Welcome back.
I don't know what I missed, but I see there's something in the chat.
Yes, Jax was talking about the hamster cartoon she grew up with, or she's seen.
Cool.
Oh, I was trying to think of it when I was trying to draw my hamster. Yes, because I couldn't think of what a real hamster looked like.
Yeah, and Nicolas Cage answered our question.
Very cool.
Nicolas Cage is in the chat.
Nice. Hi, Nick. How are things going trying to steal the Declaration of Independence?
I'm gonna love it if he's like clicked out of the stream right now and we're talking to him.
You know what's my favorite movie is Willy's Wonderland.
That was such a good movie. That was so fucking weird.
I know, I love it.
I love that he literally had zero script. They probably just said, "Listen, Nick, just be yourself," and he's like, "All right, that works." And then the whole movie, oh my god, that is a fun movie.
Oh, it's such a good movie.
It's so weird. Tim, have you seen Willy's Wonderland? No? Oh my god.
Honestly, I normally stay away from Nick Cage movies, but
I don't like him either, but that one is a keeper.
Yeah. I like Matchstick Man, where he's like the con man. And he's
haven't even heard
that one's a good one.
That was
You're
fun.
right, that one's a good one.
That was more, I think his character has Tourette's. You know, that are like he uses that
OCD.
as like part of his con. Is it OCD?
He's got OCD, yeah.
Okay, that's what. But like, so he's always fidgeting very oddly and stuff. And performances like that, where you like intentionally have to act in some sort of odd way, that always strikes me as like something really hard to pull off. Like, how can you? It's one thing to just naturally be awkward,
I mean,
but
you have to actively think about it.
Yeah, to think about it and intentionally be awkward or like have some. Point. Yeah, I'm trying to think.
Well, Willy's Wonderland is like Five Nights at Freddy's meets.
Yes.
Okay. That sounds cool.
It's so good.
It's
basically like a weird slasher movie, essentially, and Nick Cage features prominently in it and says exactly 0 words in the whole thing.
He has no lines, but he's the main character.
Lines. Yeah.
The cinematography is great if you're into like that kind of thing, like Suspiria, like crazy psychedelic colors and shots. It's really good.
What movie is great for that?
What?
The Green Knight. I don't know if you guys have seen it. It's a very long movie, but it has the most beautiful cinematography that I've seen in a very, very long time.
That can make a break.
I read.
Patel is steal your hearts is all I'm gonna say. Like, anyway.
I read Sir Gawain and the Green Knight the other day.
That's this is an interpretation of the Green Knight. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Cool.
So Dev Patel plays Sir Gawain, and the story is like it's already a really good story. It's a very interesting story, but the cinematography, just all of that is, I've never seen anything so intentionally symmetrical. And for me, like, I have some compulsive perfectionist tendencies, and that movie was just 3 hours essentially of perfection and vibrant colors and incredible acting and weirdness. It's a really good movie.
That sounds fantastic.
Yeah, no, I really like it. But if you're not okay with slowly told stories, you may not enjoy it. But if you're okay with,
I am.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw through the Northman.
I haven't seen that.
It's okay. It's slow and it's really slow and maybe not satisfying.
Okay, interesting.
But it was okay. It was interesting.
I'll have a go. I'll watch it probably this weekend. Let's be real. I'll watch it and get back to you, and I'll base my recommendation of the Green Knight on that. If you didn't like the Northman, I'll let you know. If you,
it's
if
not.
You like
it's probably not comparative as far as cinematography goes.
Okay, fair enough.
It's not that kind of movie, but it's a slow movie.
AD agrees with me. Green Knight was so dope.
You know what I watched last night that was, I need to write a review of it just so I can get it out of my fucking system, is Eraserhead. It's so weird.
I've seen it in chunks. I'm pretty sure I sat through the whole thing, but I literally only remember like 2 scenes. That's a whole, and I actually went looking for Eraserhead gifs.
He said he watched for the plot. He's solving the plot.
You guys, if you like, maybe Tim, this doesn't apply to you, but Dev Patel is easily, he's beautiful is how I'll leave it. Like, he's a stunning human with incredible acting chops, and he's
yeah,
for the plot.
For the plot.
Like AD says, definitely for the plot.
He's got some wild hair.
He does.
I just had to look him up.
He's great. Yeah, no, he was amazing in it. He was really great, and I'm glad that somebody else is here saying.
Oh, I know him.
Slumdog Millionaire.
No, that's not what I know him from.
Really?
I've never seen that movie, but I know him from something.
Avatar.
No, that movie doesn't exist. Yes. I don't know what you're talking about.
No. It's not Avatar. That was a lie. He's from Chappie.
Oh, thank God. Oh.
Have you seen Chappie?
I was gonna panic. I actually have not seen Chappie.
Oh my God, it's such a good movie.
District 9?
Okay, well, yeah, District 9's another movie out of South Africa, right?
Yeah, same, I want to say director.
Chappie is so good. Like,
really?
Hotel Mumbai.
Really, you have to see it. The little robot, you'll love him. You'll fall in love with him.
Nah, I can't. If it doesn't end well, and I have a feeling it doesn't, I will die inside.
You have to see it. I've seen it so many times. I love it so much. And Dev Patel is in it.
Fine.
It's so good.
Fine. I will watch Chappie.
It's like the best robot movie ever.
That's high praise, because I grew up with Short Circuit, and like, that's quality cinema right there.
I'm not like a big, huge robot person, but it's my favorite robot movie.
All right. There, duly noted. I will watch Chappie.
Okay, although Turbo Kid is technically a robot movie.
Excellent. All right, there we go. How do you rate it though? Next to Turbo Kid being your absolute favorite movie.
I would put it. I don't know. They're not in the same. They're not the same.
Okay, I guess that was an unfair question.
Turbo Kid is like the goriest movie with the most wholesome story or like love story.
It's a really fucking good movie.
It's so gory but so sweet at the same time. It's so wholesomely gory. And Chappie
wholesomely
is so
gory is not. Yeah, that's gotta be its own genre.
That's the genre of the movie. It's wholesomely gory.
Seems just like I'm just gonna go surf the internet while these two weirdos talk about weird movies.
Chappie will break your heart and also make you so happy and cry. You'll definitely cry.
So I apparently can't comment back to.
I can't either.
You can't post a comment?
No.
Neither.
So I'll just answer AD there that yes, wholesomely gory genre. Now that he's getting back into horror movies because of all of us, the power of friendship through gore. I feel like this is a genre that is completely underused.
Turbo Kid's not a horror movie though. Yeah. So
what is this? I'm not a fan.
No, don't do that.
That was worse than your camera going upside down.
Yeah, Turbo Kid's not a horror movie. It's a sci-fi movie.
Yeah, no, it's such a
sci-fi dystopian, and you can watch it on Shudder or Peacock.
I like how Jax is plugging her favorite movie, you guys. You should all definitely watch it. I can vouch for her taste. Turbo Kid, super fucking fun.
Such a good movie.
Yeah. No, it really is. It really is. I will have to find it.
Don't watch Eraserhead.
I feel like Eraserhead. Eraserhead has some kind of cult following.
It's viscerally disturbing.
Yeah. Ugh. But I guess that's the point, though. So maybe it's a good movie for that.
I guess. Like it. I think.
Did they ever do a remake? Or is it just the 1977 one that's all black and white?
It's just the original. I don't think that a remake would hold up. Like, part of what makes it what it is the like weird black and white cinematography that it is.
Let's see,
the dark shots.
It looks like it's
They did a TV show
of Eraserhead.
What the hell is this? TV. Yeah, or is that just a specific name of a?
I'm only seeing.
My dogs want me to let them outside. I'll be right back.
It's really funny that this Eraserhead thing comes up because the anime that I'm rewatching right now and catching up with has a character called Eraserhead, and I was looking for that, and the movie that Jax is talking about came up. So that's one of those weird synchronicity things. But yeah, Eraserhead the movie is all I'm finding for this particular story.
Yeah, it was some TV show that had an episode titled Eraserhead. That's why it was coming up in the search.
Okay. What TV show?
Some shit. I don't know.
Okay. I can't. Yeah, fair.
Yeah. I don't watch a whole lot of TV. I can't keep up with things with episodes.
Really? So movie person.
I just have too much stuff going on that like I will never remember to like every week at the same day at the same time to watch a TV show.
That's fair.
So
I tend to lean towards TV shows that have all their episodes already out. Yeah.
Like I binged Miss Marvel the other day.
I haven't finished. I've seen the first 3 episodes.
See, that was a
I need to catch up.
that was a
I watched
difficult
the
one
first
for me.
season and never went back.
Yeah.
Of what?
Miss Marvel.
Miss Marvel only just finished its first season.
Is that it?
Yeah,
Well, then
yeah,
maybe
the
I
one.
can-
So it's the. Sorry?
I thought there was 2 seasons of it already.
No, so this one just finished. I want to say, what's today? Friday? Day before yesterday, I think
Wednesday.
it finished. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the one with the 16-year-old Pakistani girl who becomes a superhero on Disney Plus.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah. And it's so good because so I've only seen the first half of the season, but my stepdad is Pakistani, and seeing their dynamics, I see a huge reflection of that in the way that he behaves with our family, and it's so adorable and it's so fun. And now that the whole season is out, we're gonna make him watch it with us and see how he feels about it, and I'm really excited to see him kind of like see his culture represented in a really big mainstream thing.
Yeah.
Honestly, your stepdad sounds so cute.
He's adorable, but like he's been in our lives for over 20 years now. Wait, am I doing maths right? Yes, over 20 years now, and the evolution of how he bonds with us has changed so much because he used to be extremely strict, and there was a huge portion of my childhood where he and I would clash because I'm extremely outspoken and stubborn and hard-headed, and
Not
he's huh
Not you.
yeah, me? No, not at all. But he's also very, very religious, so there was a clash there because he thought that I should be growing up with his beliefs, and I thought that I should be growing up with my own. And there was like, over that time, we really had to adapt to each other, and we've made allowances and compromises and stuff. So yeah, no, but he is a sweetheart. He's totally being that person who pretends they didn't want pets, and now every time he looks in, he's like very happy about all the 3 pets.
I think that's just like a dad thing.
Yeah,
it
seems to be.
My husband does the same thing. He's like, stupid dogs. I'm so sick of these dogs. But then he's like, oh, do you see this toy? He likes to love this toy. He's like, we can't buy dog food at Walmart. We're just going to have to go to the pet store. And then he buys like the fanciest dog food. And he's like,
yeah. That sounds about right.
Didn't you say you didn't want any more pets and you're sick of the dogs?
That was the thing. Like, after we lost our dog 10 years ago, my stepdad was like, well, both my parents were like, no more pets. And then last week, or the week before, my mom had a round of chemotherapy, and she was just like, you know what, I think I need some pets. It'll be good for everybody in the house. Animal therapy is really good. And he was like, ugh, fine. And then the other day, she goes to chemotherapy, and she's having a rough day. But the nurse comes up to her, and she's like, so how are you? And she goes, well, it's my birthday soon, and I'm getting 3 cats. And my stepdad was like, what?
I love her. It's my birthday soon, and I'm getting 3 cats.
Absolutely. She pulled that shit. And so yesterday, my sister and I, and my stepdad, like, he drove us 4 hours almost, I think it was, to Zurich. And we were going to pick up these kittens, and we drove all the way there. And the night before, at like 1 a.m, my mom and I had been standing out in the garden, and she had been having a cigarette, and she was just like, listen, the cat that I wanted isn't available. So when you go and you come back, I only want the 2 cats that you and your sister picked. And I was like, are you sure? And she was like, I'm dead sure. I only want these 2 cats. I was like, all right. She goes, I'm serious. I'm going to get really, really angry with you if you bring a third cat. And I was like, all right, we won't bring a third cat. We get there. There are 5 kittens, 2 of which are spoken for, 2 of which we picked. So there was 1 left. And my stepdad was like, I'm just going to message her. So he messages her. Next thing I know, she's on the phone with both my stepdad and my sister. And she's like, okay, bring home a third cat.
Oh my
But don't
God.
tell me which one. Just pick one and bring one. So we did, and that's how we ended up with 3 kittens, and now everything's a nightmare, but it's also the best nightmare. But yeah, my stepdad
is so cute.
He's really cute. He was the one who I said, because he looked at me and he said, I don't know, maybe we should bring a third cat. I said, she's going to get mad at you. And he was like,
no matter how strict a man is, never underestimate what he'll do to spoil his wife.
Oh my God, okay, listen, I'm using this kind of ironically, kind of not, but my stepdad is a simp for my mom. Like, he is the simpiest man on the planet. He will spoil her to high heaven if he can. Like, since her diagnosis and everything and going through all this therapy and stuff, sometimes she's too tired to have a proper shower. So he will like get plastic, some kind of plastic sheet, I don't know, and build this sort of makeshift like wet room in the bedroom so she can just lie in her bed and he'll wash her hair for her. It's so cute. It's incredible. There is like no love exists that's more incredible than my parents. And honestly, I think that might be why I'm kind of like, everybody sucks. This is the standard. Nobody could meet this. But yeah, no, he's
amazing.
Yeah. No, it's so cute. And she deserves every ounce of it. But yeah, they're really, really cute.
I love your parents. I've never met them, and I adore them. I would fight wars for them.
Right? They're so
I will
cute.
do it, Ro.
I feel like I need to write stories about them. Yeah, I should write stories about them.
Just make them hamsters.
Everyone would love that.
About how much your parents are in love.
Yeah, pretty much. I really should.
I'll write children's books. Now I forgot what I was writing them about. Oh, Emily, the witchy kid that turns everybody's bad deeds into unicorns, and
yes,
and you about hamsters who are so in love.
I feel like this is high quality kid content for sure.
And Tim will turn them all into kids' comics books.
I grew up with that. Like, if I had to redo, I would absolutely grow up with both of those.
Yes, I love it.
I love that we've been on the stream for 2.5 hours, and it's now getting more relaxed.
We just need more booze.
More booze.
Yes, more booze.
I like how Emily is right there, and we're like, definitely it's the wine.
What kind of wine are you drinking, Ro? I'm curious because
I'm not that fancy. I don't know my wines at all. All I know is that rosé feels like a nice in between.
Mm-hmm. Well, you got the bottle there with you, though, right?
Yeah. So it's some Portuguese thing.
Oh.
I got it on sale, and it was
like
some fancy bottle. But it literally, this whole thing was like
€2.
The equivalent.
The euro, the euro and the dollar are at par.
Oh, then it was about 4. But yeah, no, it's a Portuguese thing that I've never heard of. But I like to drink rosé. It's a nice in between. Mm-hmm. Usually I drink gin or rum. Like, my Latin American upbringing means that I have to drink rum. I have to. Otherwise, I'm ashamed. Like, when my dad was around, I told him once, I don't like tequila. I think tequila sucks. I think it's one of the worst liquors ever, and I'm pretty sure that in that moment he questioned whether he should disown me. So yeah, it's wine or rum or gin.
I would have bought that totally because of the bottle myself.
Right?
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah,
actually
it's a cool
attracted
bottle.
me to it.
Yeah.
Huh?
It's a cool bottle.
It is. No, it is. It says something on it, fado, which might be fashion in Portuguese. I'm just guessing. I have no idea.
I don't speak Portuguese.
Oh, Jax, this is fun. One of the
What?
words here is actually a word that, where is it? Here we go. That Melanie chose for the crow calls.
Oh,
She had initially suggested it for crow calls poetry prompts, and now I'm gonna Google it because I absolutely forgot what it means. It means a deep emotional state of nostalgic or profound melancholic longing.
I remember that. I've been really bad at on those.
Oh, I have not been writing poetry in months. Except this
I did
one.
write one I was really happy with the other day, but
Which one?
I don't know what the word was. It was
Plug it.
nightmarish.
Ooh. I love that. I have been slacking on the poetry front for weeks, and I had to force myself like 3 weeks ago to write a poem for, oh yeah, you and I wrote poems for the Selkie edition of the Dark Poet Society. I had to like sit down and write for it because I really, really wanted to make sure I took advantage of this theme, because Alma associates me with sirens and mermaids and stuff. So it felt like something I had to do.
I sat down with the intention of writing one about a mermaid, or about mermaids, and then I was like, I didn't really know what Selkies were, so I was like looking it up and reading the lore, and then I was like, nope, I want to do this instead.
Yeah, no, Selkies are fucking cool. And the thing is, like, they vary across cultures. Like, what a Selkie is will vary. And in one of the issues of The Crow's Quill, we actually had a story about a Selkie, but it was the horse. Wait. Am I thinking of Kelpie?
Campus.
No, I think I'm thinking of Kelpies.
Kelpies aren't horses.
God damn it! This is where my brain fails me at 4 a.m. No, I'm thinking of Kelpies. Shit.
What's a cow?
Well, there you go. Another brain fail from me. You're welcome.
I have a question.
Yes, no. Yes?
Have you seen this book before?
The Water Horse. Okay.
No, I have not. No. But
so, when I was thinking of a very off the cuff idea of your parents as hamsters, the art style of this book came to mind.
Oh my god, it's gorgeous.
It really is. This is one of the coolest books.
So that was what, Owl Guard? No, Mouse
Guard. I think there's a few of them. This is the Owl, Hen, Caregiver, and Other Tales.
The Owl, Hen, Caregiver.
Yeah. But, yeah, some of it is just stunning.
Oh, the fourth link is Comic Book Yeti. That sounds familiar. That sounds super familiar. I don't know what this connection could possibly be. It's definitely not my t-shirt.
But
I'm very good at marketing. I don't know if you guys have noticed.
Better than me. But I love the art style in here, and that just popped into my brain as that whole idea was 1,000 points of light all at once.
That's beautiful. Oh, that's so cute. I'm gonna have to get that. And it's very hard to explain to my parents the context of a lot of the things that I do. So if I just tell them, hey, I got you guys this book because this friend of mine thinks that it sounds like you guys, they're gonna be like, what the hell are you talking about? Okay, thanks.
Write a book about you and draw it in this art style.
Right?
Yes.
I'll give them the story and they won't relate. They'll be like, I have no idea what this is, but it has your name on it, so that's cool. Like, that's the kind of parents I have. I love them, but yeah, no, half the time they have no idea what I'm actually doing.
Parents just don't understand.
No, but and they don't entirely understand the dark side of purity, but they still backed it because it had mine and my sister's names on it. They were like, "Yeah, this sounds good." And then when I told my mom, because she pretty much has the news going on in the background all the time, and when the Roe v. Wade leak happened a few months ago, she was aware of the subject, and then when it actually was overturned a few weeks ago, she was just like, I can't believe this is happening. Yeah. So when I gave it to her in that context, she understood the purpose, so she backed it. And then, with my stepdad, he kind of he trusts that this, the women in our family know what they're doing. And we tend not to do anything that goes against him as often as we possibly can. So, yeah.
I've talked to my mom a lot about it. Not my pieces, honestly. I said I was really nervous about any of my family reading it because of the poem I submitted. Most of them don't know about the things that I talk about in that poem. So I am nervous about them having, I don't know if any of them backed him. I don't know. So I'm nervous about any of them reading it, but I have talked to my mom a lot about the Roe v. Wade stuff. And she was around before Roe v. Wade. And she remembers what it was like and what women were going through and women dying from back alley abortions. And she talked to me a lot about that. She's like, I can't believe they would even overturn it. She's like, I was around and I remember.
Yeah.
I have a half brother, biracial half brother. My mom was raped by an African American guy who was actually one of her best friends. And she was only 16 and it was the 70s. She ended up giving him up for adoption because it was before Roe versus Wade. And it's caused a lot of bitterness now after he had found us, and he's not a very pleasant person, not because of any of the shit that I mentioned of who he is or what he is, but he blames my mom for a lot of shit that she couldn't control. So anyway, I talked to her a lot about that.
Yeah. I'm sorry that you guys have, like, it's mind-boggling, and it's like being able to kind of cope with that and still be involved with a project that is as heavy as the dark side of purity is very telling about you and your resilience. And hopefully, and this was Elise's, I'm speaking for her because she can't be here, but that was the goal, to be able to tell these stories that maybe other people can't bear to tell, but maybe they'll affect someone. Maybe they'll affect actual change. And
yeah, and I think that's the important part and the point of it. Like,
yeah,
give a face. Like I want to say, I want to be generous and say most of the people on the anti-choice side aren't bad people. They probably aren't. They
Just
have
ignorant.
they have their view of morality and they're trying to follow what they think is right, and that's one way to go about it. But it's not a black and white issue. Like,
Yeah.
there are
No, it's not.
so many levels of gray that they're not haven't dug into, they're not ready to dig into, and they're not willing to dig into. And I think they're probably scared to dig into. And for us to go ahead and do that for them, like,
Yeah.
look, we're ready and we're ready to talk about it and we're ready to dig into it. And we're going to put it
Yeah.
in your face. And I'm sorry if that makes you uncomfortable, but it's time somebody does.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Gray that you're not ready to dig into. And maybe that'll change, probably not definitely not everybody's mind. Maybe not even the majority's mind, but somebody's.
I mean, honestly, for me, if any of my stories change one person's mind, I feel like I've succeeded. You know,
Yeah.
like this was the goal. That one change has a ripple effect, and I have to believe in that because otherwise I'll lose my mind. You know, if I think that even one person changing their mind won't actually make a difference, that's insane to me because on a personal level, it changes the whole world for me to have one person do or say one thing that makes me rethink.
Right.
You know, and if I can do that for someone else, that feels like a success. You know,
Well,
if I help,
rigid. So
yeah,
to have one person be like, you know what? I think you're right.
yeah,
Maybe I'm wrong. Just
yeah,
that little give.
yeah. No, and it's true because like right now, so from I have the comfort of being outside of the way that the US works. So you guys look like a very black and white situation where the Democratic side is the good side and then the Republican side is the bad side. And then the more time that I spend around my American friends, I'm seeing these weird gray areas where it doesn't quite make sense, where something is getting lost in the void. And like the dark side of purity shines that a light in those areas, you know? Like, yes, it is a question of are you infringing on other people's rights? That is the basis of the whole thing. But I don't know. There's you know, you've I've seen brainwashing happen based on tradition and religion and culture and patriotism and all of these things, and the dark side of purity, like we address it from so many different angles that I feel like there is a chance that someone steeped in a tradition that closes them off might actually see themselves in that voice.
Yeah.
You know, they might have a chance to just understand a little bit of the other side. And it feels like it's good guys versus bad guys, but that's not what it is at all. And I think that's the problem. Like we keep making enemies of each other when I don't know. That's not the goal. That's not going to benefit
No,
anyone.
it never has been.
Yeah.
And nobody's ever going to make ground anywhere if that's how we keep viewing each other.
Yeah.
And the fact of the matter is, we all have life experience that has formed us who are created our point of view and made us who we are. And maybe we have a lot more in common than we think we do.
Yeah.
And if we would stop being so rigid in our beliefs and stop, like, I'm dead set on that I'm right. And if I even listen to you and what you have to say, then that makes me wrong. Or being so afraid to admit that we're wrong, we're never going to gain any ground. Like,
yeah.
about being right or wrong, it's okay to be wrong, or it's okay to be misinformed. We have to listen to each other, or we're never going to grow as a society. It's not about being right or wrong. It's about changing for the better together.
Yeah, I completely agree. And I don't know if this is a good thing or a bad thing, but I completely agree with you. And at the same time, I'm like, hey, if you're MAGA, I'm not interested. You know, like, I know exactly what you're saying. And at the same time, I'm going to be like, if you believe in Trump, I'm not interested in engaging with you. And that's me absolutely being too stubborn to even give room to that kind of space.
I don't know. A certain population has demonstrated that they are completely unwilling to hear anything, right?
That is true.
So like,
that
you
is true.
kind of do have to write some people off, because it's just
That's
a way.
true.
All you'll do is frustrate yourself and waste your own energy talking to those people.
Yeah, but at the same time, like, I agree with you completely, because obviously I'm on this side of the discussion. Is I am pro-choice to my core. You know, I am. You will literally never convince me otherwise. I am pro-choice. There is absolutely no chance I will be ever swayed. But at the same time, I'm trying to think of how dead set I am on those principles, and that is exactly how some pro life people feel.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're dead set on those things, and they see me as the unreasonable person, the person who will not be budged, who will not listen to what they have to say. And I I have to take a second to think about why that has come to be, that someone on the other end of this, what seems to me like a very logical argument, feels as dead set as I do. You know, what culture, what society, what environment created the space for someone to be so opposed, you know, that, and they feel entitled and right in that opinion. And that, I think, is the problem. It's not an issue of the people as individuals. It's an issue of what's creating this sort of space where they feel they're entitled to control.
Sunday school.
Yeah.
You know what? I can't even disagree.
I remember being a young kid, maybe 14, 15, and then the Catholic Sunday school, they're showing us the videos that, like, you know, when I think back now, I'm like, I can't even imagine how they got this video footage. It must have been somebody sneaking a hidden camera without consent into an abortion clinic and taking, you know, video of a woman getting an abortion and, like, showing whatever being sucked out and trying to show you, like, full, like, developed limbs and scare all these young kids in the Catholic Sunday school to that, like, look, they just took a vacuum cleaner and shoved it up this woman and sucked out this baby. Like, it's literally what they are trying to tell you as an impressionable little teenager. That's what gets a lot of people, like, basically that kind of brainwashing, right?
Yeah.
And
No,
I think the
that's true.
people you can sway in that argument are those folks who are still maybe in their late teens, early 20s, who've not had a world experience and have only had that brainwashing shoved down their throats. And you just have to methodically and thoughtfully figure out how to put the message to them. And I think a work like Dark Side of Purity is one way to do that. Because some
That's
of those
true.
kids will just stay in that line of thought. Because they will never experience the pain of going through an unwanted pregnancy. You know, they'll never experience the pain of a sexual assault or a rape. But some of them will.
Yeah.
Statistically speaking, they will.
A huge portion.
And some of them will then know someone that they care about who goes through those experiences.
Yeah.
And that's where you can kind of chip away. Yeah.
I will say, I agree, generally. Like, overall, I completely agree with you. At the same time, a lot of the people I've seen who've kind of started warming up to the idea of pro choice, who've started maybe questioning their lifelong beliefs, have been people who've experienced it themselves. A lot of women or people with uteruses really who've experienced that, who've realized, hey, maybe this entire lifetime I've been wrong. Maybe I went through a pregnancy that I didn't want to go through, and now in my 40s and 50s and 60s and maybe even older, I'm realizing I've been wrong this whole time. And I feel like life has taught them a lot. That even as much as I believe in the dark side of purity, it is not going to be a better teacher than experience. And there are a lot of women and people with your uteruses who have had to experience it the hard way and have had to see our point of view the hard way. And yeah, we're here to help the story, but at the same time we have to level out those expectations, I think, a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. Jax?
Yeah, I was gonna say, I have to be honest. For a long time, I thought that maybe I was pro-life, because I was a teen mom, and it never crossed my mind to have an abortion. And I'm still not like, yeah, go get an abortion. I am pro-choice, 100%. It's none of my business, and it's completely your choice, and you have every right to make that choice. And because of all of the different scenarios, it has to be between a doctor and a woman. Nobody else's. But for a long time, I was very confused about, like, because the media was like, well, these are just women who just aren't careful. These are women who pull around, like everything in my face was, this isn't because these women have, nothing was legitimate data until I started looking into it myself. I didn't have legitimate information on the situation. So for a while I was like, well, I don't really believe in abortion. And that made me think I was pro-life. When I started seeing real data and I started talking to women who have had to make the decision, then it was like, no, I'm not. This is awful. No woman would flippantly make this decision. Nobody would do that just because, like, if nobody would choose this as a form of birth control. Like, the fact that you're telling people this and you're making it seem like everybody's just running around getting one is outrageous. So I have that, I guess, unique experience where I thought I was on the other side of the argument until I got legitimate information and was informed. And I think that's what we were talking about, these kids who see these awful videos, who they're brainwashed into thinking it's one thing that it's definitely not.
Yeah. No, I mean, you're not alone. Like, I grew up in a very conservative Catholic family.
Sorry, I will be right back. Please continue.
Are you bringing me more wine?
Please, no. Absolutely not. But I'm wearing like pajamas, so I'm turning off my camera. I'll be right back.
Like, that's the kind of upbringing you're in, and that's all you know, right, as a kid, for the most part. And kids tend to mostly follow their parents and what they believe, to a certain point.
And I mean, that was my parents. We didn't talk about that. We didn't talk about sex. We didn't talk about anything like that.
Yeah.
Like, my dad talked to me all day long about bureaucratic unfairness. My dad talked to me. My dad fought in Vietnam, and I had a much older dad, so he talked to me about segregation and how unfair that was. Like, my dad was very liberal in those senses, but when it came to sex and women's rights, none of that came up. But
yeah.
so I mean, I never had them to discuss that kind of stuff. But go on. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, I mean, like my dad is very adamantly, pro life, my ass, anti-abortion. I've seen him start crying when he talks about it, and all these fucking bullshit tears coming down, and crying about a woman who just killed her own baby and this and that. I'm like, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about, guy. And I get pretty worked up when I talk about Wayne, so I need to check myself a little bit to not go on a rant. But
I mean, I think we've all kind of cried or got really angry on
this. But it's kind of bullshit coming from him. So that's that kind of upbringing I had, and leave high school, go away to college, go away with like that kind of upbringing, and I'm thinking that's what I think too. And within a couple of years of being surprisingly at another Catholic university, but a Franciscan university, which the Franciscans are generally recognized as kind of the hippies of the church.
Right.
And absolutely are. They are more, they're absolutely the kind of like older school social justice focused sorts of Christians, right?
Okay.
Like go live with the leperers, go serve other people.
They're like missionaries.
Yeah. Yeah, not so...
walk the walk kind of
Christians. Yeah, not so much trying to like actively convert people, although there have been some, like, throughout the years in the different phases of the church. There absolutely have been some. But for the most part, Franciscans are generally going to be looked at as much more... when Gandhi said, "I like Christ, I don't like Christians."
Right.
And they're much more like Christ-like rather than Christian-like, I guess. Okay. You could frame it. Like there was like a gay straight alliance club on that Catholic university, which really, shocked me. I was like, really? What?
My daughter's school had
cool.
At the high school. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, like get a couple years there and just finally get to be exposed to other people and get to be exposed to other walks of life. And I think that's really the key there, is just getting that other exposure outside of the bubble.
Yeah.
And that's the power of storytelling. But again, a person needs to be somewhat willing to I don't know if, not even necessarily be totally fully receptive, but like at least not completely actively shutting themselves out and refusing to see something else.
I had a debate with a friend, and we were co-workers a long time ago, but she's always been, I hate to use the word pro-life. I will for her, because honestly, I think that if they would let her, in her case specifically, and only in her case, she would adopt every wayward child, for her specifically. I will use pro-life. Everybody else, I use anti-choice, but for her specifically, she really just loves children. She'd take them all in if they would let her. She'd work 14 jobs to support them and still make time to throw them all elaborate birthday parties. That's just who she is. But she's always been that way, very serious about it, vocal about it. We had a very serious debate the other day on Facebook because she said something about people throwing a fit about kill shelters for dogs being overrun. And I was like, you're being ridiculous. Nobody's going into orphanages and gunning down children because it's overrun. And dogs are allowed to get, or people are advocating for dogs to get spayed and neutered. They don't have to ask their stud if they can get spayed or neutered, and they don't have to have a certain amount of litter of puppies to get spayed or neutered. You're being ridiculous. And then that led to a whole debate, but she listened, kind of, She did skate over many of my points that didn't feed into her narrative. And in the end, she's like, well, you're not going to change my mind. I'm not going to change your mind. And I'm like, okay. She's like, we'll still remain friends. I'm like, all right, well, I tried.
Yeah.
Listened. I listened to you. You didn't give me any data. I gave you plenty. You gave me opinions. I gave you data, but okay. And I only respected her because, like I said, if she could, she would take all of the children.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. You can only do so much, right? And sometimes you got to walk away from something knowing that you engaged in good faith and tried to do everything you could, but...
Yeah, it's like, if you try to argue with other people, like, I immediately shut down. Somebody's like, well, you're a murderer. I'm like, one, that's fucking ridiculous. Two, I've never had an abortion, and you don't know me. So for you to say everybody who's pro-choice is a murderer is generalization language, and I'm not going to talk to you if that's the kind of language you use.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Those people, it doesn't matter how many facts, statistics you have, they'll never listen.
No.
I'm so sorry, I'm back.
It's okay.
The whole house decided that 5 a.m. is the time to wake up.
Oh. It's time to wake up, bro.
I haven't even slept.
Oh, no.
What did I miss? I'm so sorry.
We were just talking about people who are willing to listen to the arguments and people who won't listen. And
all I'll say is I'm a very stubborn person. I'm super opinionated, so I can't entirely get mad at people who are the same, but on the other side.
I can.
Fair.
Yeah.
Fair.
I
feel like there does need to be a certain amount of disconnect between their empathy and themselves to be able to just, shut pro-choice people out. I do get that. At the same time, I did grow up with a lot of cultural brainwashing that I had to really work at to undo. So I understand being in this sort of echo chamber, let's call it. But yeah.
I'm really willing to sit down and talk to anybody. Even if you're kind of hostile and rude, I will still be calm and for a while. But if it comes to the point where you're turning my words against me in a really idiotic manner, and I'm like, there's literally no talking sense into you, then I'm gonna get pissed, and I'm gonna get real hateful, and obviously there's no turning you around anyway, or even coming to a civil conclusion. So I'm probably gonna get mean and a little nasty, but I'm a little stabby sometimes.
I say this when I have to go into someone else's house and I've got the pack on my back, like on a fire call or something. I may take note of the kinds of stuff, paraphernalia and things that they've got hanging around their house, and may be less careful and cognizant of how I turn around and the extra gear hanging off my back might just hit the wall or something. I don't know.
That makes sense. I feel like maybe there's a little bit more of a literal physical difference between how you approach that and how Jackson and I might approach that, but I feel like there is a certain amount of situational awareness that's involved with being on this side of things. Everything could potentially be a threat in some way or another, and I get that.
I mean, there have been a lot of pro-choice people who have been assaulted. There have been abortion doctors and providers who have been killed. I don't know of too many, anti-abortion people who have had their houses bombed. So
That's true.
I've seen a lot of them try to fabricate attacks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or assault people trying to instigate attacks.
Yeah.
And the news reports it as if they've been attacked, but once all the camera angles come out, it's pretty obvious who fucking instigated it.
Yeah.
I know there's this one guy across the street and a little bit down from me with the Confederate flag in his garage, and I am just waiting for the day that I get to go into his house with a pike pole or something like that.
Oh boy.
Oh God. The day that there's like an EMS call to that address, I'm gonna have to really wonder whether or not I go.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't even imagine being in a situation where you're, an EMT, you're a lifesaver by profession, and you have to go and answer to somebody who does not care about you or your family, who would sooner put their principles before literal lives. Like, I'm a very angry person. Like Jax just said, I'm also very stabby. I don't think I could do it. I couldn't. I couldn't separate myself from that.
Sometimes your chest compressions are extra hard.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
I don't know how else to say it. I don't know. A lot of times you can ignore that stuff, and
Yeah.
It's more of like, okay, you go down and you give the care that you are required to give, and not much beyond that. And other people, you're happy to do extra things. An old lady having a panic attack and waiting for some family member to come around and hasn't eaten in like a day and has this like mushy bowl of cereal sitting around from 4 hours ago. And you sit there and you feed her until someone comes. If they have certain stuff in their, signage and stuff like that laying around, you probably don't do that. But
That makes sense.
Yeah.
It's 5 a.m. I don't need these feelings. I can't imagine that profession. Honestly, the shit that both of you, Jax, you're a mom on top of being a woman and on top of being from, Native heritage. Like, you've got a lot going on, and the environment that your country has created for you guys, like, I can't imagine. I'm very safe, very comfortable where I am, and I already carry a lot of anger. I can't even imagine what you guys carry.
I try not to. Rage makes me very uncomfortable. Makes
Fair.
me miserable. What I try to do, because I am a mom, is I raise my daughters fucking wild. I raise them wild.
I mean, she's just out here conjuring animals and
I have
food.
savage daughters. They take up space and they're loud and they get dirty and they say what's on their mind and they don't let anybody talk to them any way that they don't see fit. I don't care if it's an adult or... I mean, that makes me sound like I'm raising disrespectful kids, but like, they respect the people in their lives who do for them what needs to be done. Their parents, adults who respect them as humans. But if an adult comes in my house and doesn't respect them as humans and treats them as little children, I'm like, don't let them fucking talk sideways to you. They don't respect you as a human. They're treating you like you're an object in the house. Just because you're young doesn't mean you shouldn't be treated with respect. You're a human being. So that's what I do. I raise wild children. And I'm like, question everything, demand respect, take up space, be loud, fight for what you believe in, go forth, and take over the world.
I don't say it lightly, but like what I would have given for a mother figure like that while I was growing up. Oh, I don't know where I'd be, with that sort of self empowerment, that environment to just be. Yeah. A lot of people can use that for sure. I think you're doing a fucking awesome job with the language.
I want more girls to be raised that way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Just stop fucking telling girls to be ladylike and
quiet and permissive.
Why do boys get dirty and scrape their knees and play in the dirt and learn math? And no, I want to fucking go run in the dirt and climb trees and be wild. We want our hair to be full of sticks and leaves and
mud and bugs. And
yes, we like mud and bugs, and we want to catch snakes and lizards.
Yep.
Yeah.
Raise your girls to be punks.
That's right. Teach girls on punk rocks and being savage.
Yep.
Don't need to
Raise
know
them wild,
people. Don't need to know how to do a French braid. You need to know how to work in a circle pit.
Also, you should teach them to be able to French braid their own hair because it keeps it out of their face when they're running wild.
Okay.
That's actually super handy. So there you go. Balance, French braid, and also sticks and mud and punk.
Bald guy should have picked a better analogy.
But a wild ponytail that's falling out and flying in the wind is also good when you're running barefoot through a field.
Mm.
Yeah, it cements an image, it cements the vibe.
However you want your hair to be. It's all about joy and being wild. And just wild daughters grow into be leaders of the fucking country. Just let them fucking be wild.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know about you guys, but like I'm from a Latin American culture that also transplanted itself to Europe and then brought in a Pakistani Muslim culture specifically, and it's been extremely weird navigating that sort of. It's not a dichotomy because there's actually a lot of parallels between Latin culture and Muslim culture, but that navigating the sort of strictness of Orthodox Christians and Muslims and then also liberal Europe has been not easy, let's say, but it doesn't help that I'm also an extremely stubborn personality. So I with a mom like you, Jax, I think I would have really flourished. I would have become some kind of force to reckon with. And then at the same time, in reality, I had a lot of emphasis placed on keep up the appearances and reputation matters more than anything and your networking and your connections. And I don't know if you guys just heard me crack my knuckles by accident.
Yeah.
But that's what I grew up with.
As you were saying that, my lip was curling. I'm like, ooh.
Mm-hmm. So when you see me being very sort of professional and diplomatic when I'm voicing an opinion, it's because I have this voice in the back of my head that's like, make sure people can't get mad at you for it. Make sure people have this opinion of you that's, respectful and all of that. And I can't just fully embrace my anger and my feelings and my opinions. And I feel like I was a savage daughter that was kind of tamed by a lot of cultural things.
Yeah.
And I'm extremely excited to see the next generation just not give it more fucks.
I think I don't know where, but I picked that up too somewhere. be sweet. I think it was like maybe dating culture, maybe something like boys like quiet girls, boys
Yeah.
like gentle girl. Maybe it was dating culture, like boys don't want loud girls who act crazy, but it definitely wasn't like my dad raised me by myself from the age, but from when I was 11 to like 15, 16, 17 when my mom came back around. And then my dad was 43 when I was born. He's like old school, grew up on a farm, just fought in Vietnam, just old school guy. He was just like, you work hard, you speak your mind. And he's like, I don't care. Oh, you're a girl, whatever. I need you to help me on the farm. Like, my dad didn't have gender roles. He didn't have any of that. He was like, you're my kid. You're working on the farm. We're doing this. We're doing that. Like, so I didn't have any of that. Girls are quiet and neat and prim. He was like, nah, you're a kid. We got work to do. Come on. So I don't know where I picked up this thing where you have to be quiet and prim and proper and polite.
I feel like that's definitely a dating thing because it's the same over
think
here.
it was.
Yeah, no, it's the same over here, and it's already very clear that the way that you guys are brought up in general is very different to certain parts of Europe, at least, and the dating aspects feel very, very similar. That is something that I've always recognized as being the same.
Tim brought up raising your girls on punk rock, and I'm like,
yeah.
A lot of setting myself free was finding punk rock music and finding like that angry, political, but still fun, like kind of upbeat, angry music. And I'm like, fuck yeah, this is how I feel. And it was wild and it was savage and it was like, fuck the patriarchy, fuck the government. And like, that kind of set me free a lot. And I was like, yeah. But now that I'm in my 30s, I really don't give a fuck. I'm like, oh, you don't like me? I don't care.
Yeah,
I really don't care.
I'm realizing the more that time passes that the women and non-binary people in my life all lean toward punk and metal. Like primarily, that's what they listen to, and that's the sort of that's the energy that they give off all the time. Is this sort of like they use their shadow sides, their angry sides, their rage and their trauma and their awareness of injustice and everything as armor. And a lot of it comes out in the music they listen to and the books they read and the shows they watch and all of that. And that is just becoming more and more apparent, is that there is this...
Well, I think that, I don't know, as I'm in my 30s and I'm knowing a lot of women and men too in their 30s, I think this is like the age where we start to see our rage and our discontent not as something to hinder us and silence us, but as something to empower us.
Yep.
So we're looking for music and shows and art to channel that power that we're feeling from our discontent and our anger, and it's a driving force. We're finally feeling like you can't tell us what to do, and your social norms don't control us anymore, and we're angry. We don't want to talk about what you think we should be doing anymore because we're too old for that shit.
Yep.
We did that already.
No, I think you're right.
Now we're going to do what we want to do.
Yep.
And there's something so freeing about being in your 30s.
Yeah, I feel like we also
right now.
I'm mid 30s now, like 35, and there are still aspects of my life that you can tell I'm a millennial in a lot of aspects. There's I don't have the independence that the generations before and the generation after have had, but at the same time there's a stubbornness in this existence, in being born in the late 80s and growing up in the 90s, and having this music and this media and comics, cartoons.
Well, they had an economic freedom that we can't hope to have.
Yep.
I mean, they did, but we have a social freedom that's going to continue to grow. Like,
and that's the key,
it's
isn't
a beautiful fucking thing. Like, we're free as people. Sure, they had money and we're free to buy, but the shit you buy, what does it do for you?
Yeah.
We're free to be who we are.
Yeah.
I think that's way more important.
It's been key, I think. It's been really key. And there's a meme I have somewhere on my phone or my computer, I don't know. But it's basically like an adult wolf and a puppy. And I say puppy, like a wolf cub. And one of them... yeah, and the adult wolf is a millennial and the cub is a zoomer, and the millennial wolf is just saying something like, burn it all the fuck now down, and the wolf cub is going, bet. Like, I want that. I want that energy. And my little brother, he is a zoomer, and no fucks are given. Yeah. He's opinionated, and he is so big on equality and all these issues, and he will talk about them. He'll have these really hard conversations, like with my Muslim stepdad, my youngest brother, who is my stepdad's his only biological child, has had extremely difficult conversations, about social equality that directly contradicts my stepdad's religion, and he would do that.
Mid-20s, early 20s.
He just turned 22 about a week ago, so he's a baby. But he's out here changing minds and changing hearts, like with the hard stuff. That's having good. To sit someone you adore down and say, hey, this isn't working anymore. And he's doing that with conversation that I feel like he wouldn't be strong enough to have if he didn't have the media that we do, the cartoons and the comics and all of that, the books. He grew up with Percy Jackson, which had a lot of room for people of every kind.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like there's hope. We may not get to see it, but...
Like a little problematic, though, right?
Always. Everything. In some capacity.
Who I like better than Rick Riordan, who makes major commentary on acceptance, is Ransom Riggs.
And that sounds familiar.
Miss Peregrine series.
Oh, okay. So I haven't read it, but I've seen the one movie.
Oh, don't. The movie is awful. Okay.
The movie doesn't exist. I take back. I have no idea.
You have to read the books, though. They're so good.
Okay.
They're so good.
Okay. I will put that on my massive list.
Maybe not in... I can't remember. It's been a while since I read through the whole series. Maybe not in character description, representation. I can't remember, but I feel like yes, because it's worldwide. But definitely in their fight for rights and acceptance as this group of people of other, because they all have powers and they're discriminated against and being persecuted.
So very X-Men-y.
Yes.
Okay. All right, cool. Yeah, no, I love that stuff. I feel like it's a really clever way to get people to understand the allegory, but not realize it until it's too late.
Them even knowing until they're way deep in the series, and they're like, hey, this is kind of like...
exactly.
That is.
Yeah. No, you gotta get sneaky sometimes, but if it works, it works, and I'm always game for that stuff. So I will look up Miss Peregrine.
Miss Peregrine.
Yeah. I will look up that series then.
Yeah, they're super good. And that's what my oldest, Cora, she hated reading. Hated it. Couldn't get her to sit down to one book, but I finally got to read that first book she had to read a fantasy book for a book report. So, like, she couldn't get out of it. And then I was like, here, read this. It's fantasy. You might enjoy it. And then she got addicted to that series.
Good.
That's when she started reading, yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Poor Tim. I'm sorry. We've been on here for 3.5 hours. 2.5, 3.5.
Yeah. I like to just listen. It's fine by me.
Cool.
I don't need to always be talking myself.
It's also like Jax and I have been friends for a year, and this is the very first time we've gotten to speak on video and voice together at the same time. So
yeah.
I
We've
feel
done
like
voice a couple of times where there were like 10 other people, so
yeah. This is the first time. So we're sorry. Sorry, but not really.
Oh.
No, not really.
No!
No! Gravity isn't shut up.
It's so horrible. It's horrible, and it's worse with a bottle of wine in me. Like, that moment was rough. That's all I'm gonna say. You're a troll, Tim, and
You're a troll.
I don't like it.
Oh, with that, probably should wrap up. I have to get up early tomorrow for water rescue team training.
Apparently,
little at all.
Apparently, AD is too high for upside down Tim.
Oh, killing him.
Nice.
So yes, no. Let's wrap up. It's 5:30 in the morning, and literally the sun has risen over here.
I was gonna say
Yeah.
your room looks brighter than it did in the beginning.
It's not great. Wow, that zoom! That was a dramatic zoom.
I don't know how AD's gonna handle that.
Sorry, AD. I'm really sorry, but like, I'll stream anime for you in 10 minutes if you want.
No, you go to sleep, bro.
But anime.
He can put on his own anime. He has Crunchyroll.
That's true. But yeah, no, this was great.
Okay.
It was great. It went way longer than I expected, and I loved it.
No, it was good. It was fun to hang out, and I've always been one to just hang in the back and listen, so that was fine by me.
I'm the same until alcohol is involved.
See, I would need more than a couple glasses of wine. I'd probably need a funnel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Taking notes.
Yeah, funnels, keg stands.
Bottles of wine.
Yeah.
What is she doing? All right, sorry. Yes. Anyway.
So I have been delinquent.
I think she Naruto ran away. I'm not kidding. She's been doing the Naruto run. I don't know where she got it.
So good.
Funny. So I've been bad last couple of weeks about forgetting to do the PSA as a sign off. So I'm gonna remember to do one today. Keep it simple. Everybody, go take a CPR class. You never know when you're going to be able to save your relative's life by taking the CPR class and just knowing how to give chest compressions. Which you no longer have to give mouth-to-mouth rescue breathing. You can do, that's no longer legally required in the U.S. I will caveat that for you, bro.
Thank you.
But there is enough oxygen existed in your bloodstream that you can just do chest compression only resuscitation. Really? Yeah.
I actually genuinely did not know. Yeah. So
my certification has lapsed like a long time ago.
Well, the thing is, if you have that skill, you're never gonna forget it. So you can always provide that, whether you got the certification that's active or not. Like, if your family member goes down, you're not gonna sit there and be like, my paperwork is out of date. You know?
Well, yeah, I know, but I haven't taken a class since I was a preschool teacher, and then I had to take adult and child CPR classes so you can get certified for that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't know you could have
Super useful.
mouth to mouth anymore.
Yeah,
That's
I mean,
a great PSA.
spend a few hours, go get certified. You never know when it's gonna be Christmas Eve and your grandmother goes down, and
Tim,
the difference.
it's like 5:30 in the morning.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I don't need these feelings.
But right. So the difference between life or death can sometimes be somebody being able to give that compression right away, and that 5-minute delay between a first responder getting there.
Yeah.
So go take a class.
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you all for being here. Thanks everybody who's joined in and watched, or who will watch while we're recording.
Thank you for watching.
We're probably gonna take a couple weeks off from the Bardcast and be back. Let's see. Next scheduled guest is Friday, August 5th, with Kurt Sasso.
Awesome.
Of Two Geeks Talking.
Cool.
So,
thank you, Tim. Thanks for having us.
Appreciate you all being here.
Bye, Jack.
Bye, guys.